Salvete omnes, salvete amici, nomen mihi est Decimus Aurelius Ingenarius Legatus pro praetore Australia et Tribunis Plebis. Hello everybody, welcome to Tribune Talks, talkback radio TV telecast. I'm your host Decimus Aurelius. It's a pleasure to be here this evening, which is evening Australian time, although it's just gone afternoon Rome time, which is delightful in our symbolic home of Rome, Italy. Hello to everybody in chat. Salve to everybody in chat. Salvete. We just saw the sub come through there of Apollo 490, one of our fellow streamers there. Great to have that Twitch Prime sub coming through. Thank you for the donation. The agenda for today, great question, well asked. Today we are going to talk about the latest Senate session of March 2774. And that particular Senate session was in service for some time and has just concluded. The Tribunes have confirmed the results and the votes of the presiding magistrate, and we are going to go through the outcomes of that Senate session. So I'm very excited. So everybody grab your hot beverages, whatever you prefer this evening, while we talk Nova Roma politics. And that is definitely a key component of Tribune Talks and what we like to talk about most here. And look, this chat's open to everybody. You don't have to be a Nova Roman to talk about politics here. We invite all those with a Roman interest or even a political interest to talk over some of the latest decisions that have come out of the Senate of Nova Roma. And of course, all of this is accessible through the Forum Romanum groups.io list. And we might get a link up in chat for you later for those that are interested in reading through some of this information live. But of course, you'll be able to also read through what we're going to look through this evening through the Nova Roma website. And this I will put in chat is that link there. There you go. I've spammed it in a couple of times. So you'll be able to follow along what we talk about this evening. So let's do a double check of our audio levels. Hopefully the music's not drowning me out or vice versa. You've got some good microphone volume, I'm assuming. You can all hear and see me correctly. That is fantastic. Very good. Very good. So, yes, we've talked about our subs. So, yes, for those that are new to the channel and the stream this evening, look, any subscriptions, any cheers, or any direct donations that you make through this channel all goes through to the not-for-profit incorporation, Nova Roma, helping to fund scholarships, events, living history, research, you name it. It goes to supporting a lot of those concepts, both here in Provincia, Australia, and all the way through various countries right across the world. It could be United States, it could be United Kingdom, Europe, Italy, Hungary, Spain. Greetings, Salwe, to Unknown Star 120. I think you're a return visitor. Pleased to have you back. I think you were on the stream the other day, actually. Who are you watching? But that's good. Good to see you coming back to the channel again, Unknown Star. Great question. So I've been asked where do I get the music from today. So the music we're listening to here is DCMA free, so it's license free. So it keeps all the music publishers and the Twitch administrators happy. This is from a site called Streambeats. It's not particularly Roman, but it's a little bit soothing, a little bit ambient, just to keep things calm and relaxed on our stream here this evening. And particularly because we talk about politics. Politics maybe can get a bit heated depending on the opinions of people in chat. But yes, Streambeats is what you're looking for. So right, as a fellow streamer, look up Streambeats. You can download all this free music. I've got to work out a better way to play it in the background. It sometimes forgets itself and turns off. So if for some reason the music disappears, let me know and we can put it back on and maintain our relaxing flow. Good. So we've got a few people coming into chat now. That's fantastic. Good. There we go. Sempronius Agricola has joined us. Salve to you. Quidagit. Great to have you popping on board. I suspect you're in the car on the way home because you're joined from that particular account. But that's good that you've taken the effort to join in here again this evening. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's what I like about this channel is everybody having a chat. When we go to the next window, in fact, we go here. There we go. I can pull the chat up on stream. So for those that are watching this in the future on YouTube, because we'll put this up on our YouTube channel for Provincia, Australia. And of course, you can watch that from wherever you are around the world and catch this episode again if you miss it. So if you need to duck off from this stream this evening for whatever reason, you can always watch it again in full later. But of course, it's also available in the past video section here on the Twitch channel itself. If you go to the videos subsection, and then you can see all the various categories. It'll be under the category called Tribune Talks with myself, Tribunus Plebis, Decimus Aurelius. It's lovely. It's been an interesting year so far, I think, for the Tribunes. Uniquely, one of the 5 Tribunes, and we have 5 Tribunes elected every year in Nova Roma. Ancient Rome had many more, and that number, I guess, varied over the course of history. But Nova Roma has 5, and has had 5 for a long time now. Unknown Star is from Provincia, Australia. What's your citizen name? You're a Nova Roma citizen, are you, Unknown Star? What's your Roman name? I'm trying to marry up who the various I think all your usernames to Nova Roma citizen names. Yeah, that's right. Because Apollo 490 is from Britannia, which I got wrong previously. So so quite a diverse crowd here. So far, at least with those in chat, we have Provincia Britannia and Provincia Australia. That's excellent. So we have 5 Tribunus Plebis in Nova Roma, and their role varies a little bit from the ancient Roman role. But one of the things they have to do is confirm the votes that the presiding magistrate has counted and announces within the Senate, because the Senate is a closed Senate in Nova Roma, so only senators and the tribunes are able to attend. Now, I believe that was different from the ancient Roman Republic. I understand that, and again, if you're in chat, you can correct me if I'm wrong, or if you know something different, or if you've got sources. Let's talk about those sources. But from what I understand is that the ancient Roman Republic was actually a little bit more open. It could actually have a bit of a peanut gallery to a certain size, as I guess many current democratic governments allow spectators and observers to watch things like question time or whatever the case may be. And that's the way I understood it from a Roman Republic point of view, is that during the ancient Roman times, is that the Senate could have observers, standard citizens. Whatever the case being, Nova Roma Senate is a closed session, and part of the reason is because our Senate is also often the board of directors. And so the board of directors sits independently of the rest of the membership, or the citizenship base in this case. And look, and the tribunes, in the same sense of the ancient times, the tribunes in Nova Roma are a little bit of a balancing force. So I guess they're elected by the tribes in the elections each year, and they all each hold the power of veto. So if there's something happening in the Senate policy or whatever that comes out that the tribunes are not fond of themselves, or if people come to the tribunes seeking a veto, for the tribunes to exercise on their behalf, then the tribunes can maintain that balance, I guess, against the Senate and what is subsequently the board of directors, which is quite interesting. So yes, so the tribunes have the ability to observe and report on the Senate session, provided there's nothing, that's secret, or perhaps a little bit closed doors, depending on the topic. They'll report on that matter and then verify the votes of the presiding magistrate at the end of the session as well. Let's have a look. Unknown Star says the weather is not too bad, good at the moment. Whereabouts in Australia are you, Unknown Star? I myself, for those watching, I'm based down in Melbourne. We're just starting to come out of lockdown measurements. I think we can go into New South Wales now, but not Queensland. I'm hoping to do some travelling in the near future, so hopefully the borders open up again for those based in Melbourne. Agricola here says, my understanding is, as you explained it, the Senate was open to the people. Yeah, that's what I thought. So people could observe. I mean, there'd be limits to the amount of people that could watch, for example, and that would be restricted. There we go, and Apollo, I think, is verified here. The Roman Republic allowed public viewing, but not speaking, as the doors were left open. Yep, that makes sense. There we go, South Australia. Unknown Stars from South Australia. Pleased to have you on board from South Australia. Fantastic. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, as you can see up in the screen above me in the stream, I've got the page open, and I've put that link in chat already. And again, for those that have just joined the stream, we're going to be talking about the first and only March session of 2774, the outcomes of the Senate session of Nova Roma. And the page that I have here and the link that I've just put into chat will take you to the summary of that. And we're going to read through this and go through in particular the Senatus Consulta that has been released by the Senate and has been recently approved and endorsed which will affect legislation and the lives of Nova Roma and its citizens and members. And so we're going to study that. Some interesting things in there. It was a bit of a marathon session. It was quite a long session. Now, for those that were around last year, who in chat and those that are Nova Roma citizens, who can remember how long the Senate session took last year? That took a while, didn't it? That did take a while. It nearly took all year, oddly enough. And look, there were some issues with people that were struggling. Everyone was affected by COVID, right? That was the year of COVID, and so that drew out the preceding Senate session of 2020. So that can be tough. Yeah, very long time. Have some tea. Fantastic. So this session we were concerned, I guess the Tribunes were concerned anyway, that this session was drawing on a bit. In fact, myself as a Tribune actually made comment, just seeking, look, it's good to have some activity. One of the consoles wasn't responding, or the presiding magistrate wasn't responding at one point, or hadn't posted for a long time into the Senate. So we said, look, as a suggestion, perhaps the other console steps in and takes over proceedings. I think the original console perhaps took a little bit of offence to that. There's some communication problems, and those communication issues will always exist in the online domain. But there's no animosity there, and life continues, and the Senate session eventually continued. But we saw a lot of items added to the agenda. If we look at the page with us now, just above, so let's scroll down. Let's go to the agenda here, and if I zoom in, hopefully this works for you guys. Yeah, that's good. That looks good to me. So you can see all the agenda items there. You can see there was really only 4 items that started on the agenda, and a whole bunch more were added. So what was a total of 13 in total there. So they added several more over the course of that Senate session. Some of those couldn't have been helped. For example, item 8 here, it was a macro world event that was occurring, and they wanted to respond to that, as was another one, which was item 12 down here. That was also popped up to the last minute. We needed some action on that. So, and look, those items are always going to pop up in Senate sessions, and they're unavoidable, and they do need to be addressed and actioned, and naturally that will add to any duration of any Senate phase. So, we certainly don't hold that against the Senate. But, some other important events come up as well, and depending on where the presiding magistrate is located in the world and the level of accessibility he has to the various other Nova Roma forums, will determine how much other content he's heard about or wants to action. Because you'll recall that the presiding magistrate holds all the power in the Senate, in a sense of speaking. So they control the proposals that come out onto the floor. They control when the votes occur, whether they want to, they will invite other people to make comment, and perhaps propose suggestions. But the final proposal is put forward by the presiding magistrate, and that is what is voted on. Now, what we generally see, at least in the current times, is the presiding magistrates are usually quite open, and they will often take suggestions for other agenda items to add to the bill. They will take a lot of suggestions on feedback for perfecting the proposals for vote. And look, ultimately that's generally a good tactic, right? If you're looking to get a particular proposal across the floor, it makes sense to get bipartisan support and have people agree or add suggestions to tweak it to make it sound just right for their particular point of view. So, right, presiding magistrate, right, holds all the power. But yeah, a lot of these additional agenda items actually came through from other senators. And some of these, may have worked their way through from other people in the population, other civies within Nova Roma. Depending if you've got an idea, they can make their way to the Senate for consideration. And I guess that's a good point to point out that, look, if you are a Nova Roma citizen and you do have a concept, an idea, something that you want the Senate to consider or decide upon, speak to your Tribune of preference. Remember, there is 5, and have a discussion with them about, the potential possibilities, how you might go about phrasing that or addressing that and making it work its way through to the Senate. Because unlike modern-day ministers and government representatives of democratic nations, senators of ancient Rome are not representatives of the people. So, and I guess that's part of the reason we have SPQR, which is, if you know that translation off the top of your head, there's a quiz for you all. jump into chat, SPQR, write it out in full. But it essentially translates to the Senate and the people of Rome, distinctly defining the difference between Senate and people. Now, I guess the intent of modern democracies is that the government is the people, or the government is the representative of the people. Now, that's not really true. You're electing representatives, and it's a little bit different depending on the democratic system. So, comparing the Westminster system to that of the US system, there are some variations there, particularly in nomenclature and definition. But in the Roman context, Roman senators are not representative of people, and they're not obliged to hear out citizens. Now, most of them are actually quite friendly and approachable, and they will often actually listen to your ideas if approached. But that's not the traditional approach that we like to take. So if you are a standard citizen, we very much value your ideas as a citizen, even if you're not in office or you're not in government or whatever the case may be. You just have to go through a different avenue. In that case, it happens to be the tribunes. And there are 5 of those, so if you are begrudgingly not getting on with one, so if you're not a fan of me, if you don't like my style, or if you don't like my political points of view within Nova Roma, then you've got 4 other choices to pick from, and you can approach another tribune and have a chat with them about your options for getting your idea forwards. And look, they'll often tell you about the plausibility of your idea. Usually they've been around for a little while, sometimes, depending on the amount of people running for elections. And they'll be able to give you their opinion. In the same way that if you are not fond of a proposal, so the tribunes are reporting on the Senate sessions, and if you as a citizen don't like a concept that's being developed, you can have a tribune or discuss it with a tribune and potentially have it vetoed. But right, I think that's the best point of call. So there's a few options for that. Again, the Forum Romanum, the groups.io main mail list. If you've subscribed to there, that's a great way to get in touch with your tribunes. That's been posted on there before, so you can do a search and look for who the 5 tribunes are this year. But what's really easy to get in touch with your respective tribunes is to get on the Nova Roma Discord. Now you can see the link to can I get the direction right? Yeah, just over here where I'm pointing, you can see the link to the Nova Roma Discord. I can't zoom in there, but GG/ and a bunch of letters. It's free to join that, and you don't have to be a Nova Roma citizen. So if you're listening right now and you're not a Nova Roma citizen, you can still join the Discord and participate in all sorts of Roma discussion. But on there you'll find there is a channel specifically aimed at the plebeians, and you can see a post on there which highlights the contact details for all 5 of the tribunes. So you can reach out to them, or one of them, or all of them, and discuss your concerns or discuss your ideas, and they'll help you get that through to the Senate for consideration. Let's have a look back at chat. Yeah, it looks like Sempronius Agricola, without a doubt, came through there with the answer of what SPQR in Latin is. So it's Senatus Populesque Romanus. So the Senate and people of Rome. And so you'll actually see the QUE, and for those that have studied Latin, and I think Agricola and I will know this from our LLSPI study that we've been doing in the past, is that QUE on the end of the word usually means like and. So instead of saying Senatus et Populis, you could say Senatus Populesque. Is another way of saying something and something. And Romanus being the adjective there in a way, or of Rome, the action there. Apollo says it'd be absurd for somebody to dislike me. Well, thank you for those kind words. Apparently Agricola agrees. Apollo's going to go for now. Enjoy the dentist. Hopefully it's just routine work. Wale to you, Apollo. We'll see you back soon. Maybe when you're in the dentist chair, maybe the dentist can hold up the phone for you on your Twitch app and you can watch. Or you can have me on the background as audio. I don't know if my voice isn't too boring for you. Maybe we need some vocal cord lubrication with a bit of tea. There we go. We can drop it down a few octaves, come a little bit closer and a little bit more intimate with the microphone. Anyway, we're distracting ourselves. We're wanting to talk about the outcome of the current Senate session. But no, I think that was important to talk about how to communicate within or to the government or the what is essentially the board of directors of Nova Roma. And I think you, as a standard citizen, the tribunes are a great avenue. Lots of choices there, 5 different people that you can speak to. And there's new 5 tribunes elected each year. And I guess you as a citizen have a say on who those tribunes might be. So if there is a favourite person that you like and they're running for tribune, vote for them and they can help you out. That's awesome. So we were just discussing the agenda here. This is probably a good place to start. I posted the link here so you can follow this on the Nova Roma website. It's the March session of 2774. The first preamble stuff talks about the senators that were present. So I think there's 16 voting members in the Senate at the moment. And that requires a minimum quorum of 11, which they easily achieved with 15 and 1 proxy. So no problems there. And I think in terms of all the voting members, out of the 16, I think 12 were voting, which is a pretty good turnout, I think, in terms of interactivity of the senators and whatever Roman session's going on. So we can see here that the Senate session started back on the 1st of March, which is the Carl of March. So if you're familiar with your Roman calendar nomenclature, that's where that's coming from. So that represents the 1st of March, and that just recently concluded on the 21st of June, which is more or less today. So this is very recent, which is awesome. So the fact that we got all this information out so quickly is fantastic. We've got some great website administrators. I wonder who they are, who updated the pages so quickly. That's hats off to them. Whoever they are that did this, put this information out. So I'm laughing for a reason. I'll let you guys work that out. But let's go back through the agenda. So because of when it started, the Carla March, they usually have to start with some sort of religious business and discuss religious matters of the day. So this is quite common that you'll see this item 1 on the agenda for often a few Senate sessions, talking about religious business. So item 1 and item 3, they don't actually have any items to be voted on here, so they didn't result in a senatus consulta. That's just more or less information for the discussion. So, religious business, there wasn't a great deal talked about there. There was 1 or 2 things brought up. We can go back and have a look at those reports from the tribunes, but nothing of significance there, I think, for the civilian base. The provincial reports, so each year, as a minimum, the governors of all the respective provinces around Nova Roma have to submit, I guess, essentially an update on activities that are going. The reports vary. There's no standard template on what the governors have to submit. Some governors go to quite a length to produce quite extensive reports. Others are quite simple about the activities that occurred. And then the Senate discusses those and ensures that the province is still active and maintains the status. Talk about any issues that come up. Now, I think that's still currently tabled. So technically, the Senate session is still open. The vote has closed, and this was tabled. So this may still be discussed in brief before the Senate's fully closed out. So perhaps that's probably good to clarify. Right, so the voting has closed, but the Senate session is still technically open, and I think this item 3 is the last to be heard right now, is hearing last year's provincial reports. As I can tell, there's only been 3 governors' reports come through, which is concerning, because that is a requirement for governors to maintain their post, is to submit that provincial report. Provincia Australia has. I know we've got a few Provincia Australia citizens in chat, so we definitely submitted our report from last year. Sempronius Agricola in chat says, what was discussed re-tax rate? That is a good question. So one of these agenda items here is item number 2. So I maliciously skipped over that. And that is, in fact, the first item that was talked about. And with that, let's go down to the bottom of the page here. So this is all the voting outcomes. I'm scrolling past here pretty quickly. It's all the same. All 12 voting senators voted unanimously on each of the proposals, which is, I was going to say unheard of, maybe not entirely, but very clean. So everybody was happy with all the final proposals and senatus consultant that came through. But let's go and answer Sempronius Agricola's question there about tax rates, and that's this top one here. So you can all look at this as well on your own PC. You can check out the Nova Roma website. And what we can derive from this is pretty much the same as last year, I think. So when it comes to about August, for those that are interested in becoming an Asudi, a tax-paying citizen. So when we talk about taxes, that's really membership fees for those that are not familiar with Nova Roma. So it's free to join Nova Roma. You can get a Roman name and get full access to all of our community as a citizen for free. Where the taxes or the membership fees come in is if you want to run for higher Nova Roma government or participate in government business in any form, whether it's elected or appointed, you need to pay your membership fees, or what Nova Roma refers to in the symbolic context is your taxes. Each August, roughly, a call goes out for everybody to contribute and pay those taxes. Now, that used to vary a couple of years ago. It used to be dependent on GDP of the country. So as we know, there's many different countries. Nova Roma exists right throughout the world. And it used to be based on GDP, so it would vary depending on the country you're from. To keep things simple over the last couple of years, they've just made it a flat rate. And that flat rate, as we can see here this year, is $9. That's pretty cheap. Pretty affordable for most. Doesn't exclude a lot of people, particularly those that want to participate at a higher level. So it's $9, which is good. So now it doesn't have to be exactly 9. If you so want to donate more, you can. And all those donations go back through to the not-for-profit and help us run our business and put on events and get presentations and speakers and scholarships. You can read a little bit about it in the About section below, and of course through the Nova Roma website. And some do choose to pay a little bit more. And in fact, if you actually hit particular levels more, you actually gain additional status in honour and in name of, I guess, a little bit what happened in ancient Roman times. You can achieve equestrian order status by paying a much larger amount. And Sempronius Agricola in chat knows all about that. He is currently a member of the equestrian order, as he contributed a larger amount in last year's taxes. So we can see that here under this part of the Senatus Consultum is that citizens who donate $45 are recognised as what they call preliminary members of the equestrian order. So this year in August, if you're feeling generous, you want to donate a little bit more to Nova Roma as the not-for-profit. If you donate 45, right, you become a preliminary member of the equestrian order, known as in Latin Tribunus Aurelius Equestrius, and you also receive 25 census points. So, very briefly, let's talk about census points, because I guess they're important in Nova Roma society. In ancient Rome, your class and your century, and I guess your status in Rome was ultimately based on wealth. Now, that would be unfair in today's modern age if we had a society based on your wealth. But what we do here instead is we have a concept called census points, which tries to replicate that feel of ancient Rome, but in a much more accepting and accessible manner. And CP can be gained in a whole number of ways, right? Now, it doesn't just have to be based on money. So that's really often based on activity. So if you're appointed or elected to a position, you'll get CP. If you are a Nova Roma citizen and you're also a military reenactor, you get CP. If you organise a Nova Roma event, you can get CP. Get some more census points. If you participate in online ludi and games and events that Nova Roma puts in, and if you gain a place, you can also gain census points of varying amounts. So very accessible. Technically speaking, you could rank up and gain status within Nova Roma without ever spending a dime. And that's totally your prerogative. And you can be a very active citizen without necessarily having to spend money. Like I said, the only reason you'd have to pay your taxes or the membership fees is if you wanted to serve in government or high-level office or run for election. That's the only reason that you would have to pay. But you don't have to run for those, and that's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to do the political stuff. Not everybody wants to, run for elections. Some may like to do the corporation work and some of that sort of side. I think you're still required to pay your membership fees there. But there's other ways you can help out and contribute without having to necessarily pay the membership fees or the taxes. So you can still very much go up in the classes. It might be a little bit slower, because some of the elected officers do get significant amounts of census points upon being elected into them, particularly the curule magistrates like praetor and consul. But that's very long-term political track, or cursus honorum for those following the political racetrack, as it's referred to. So that's the first level, $45 if you want to be considered a preliminary member of the equestrian order come August. Now, for those donating $135 or more, will be recognised as full members of the equestrian order with the title Equus Equo Privato or Privato, depending on your pronunciation, and that's a whopping 400 CP with an immediate advancement to the first class. And right, fair enough. $135 is quite a significant donation or membership fee to part ways with. And so to recognise that significance of a contribution, you get what they call permanent equestrian status and 400 CP, which puts you all the way into the first class, which is truly wonderful. Officially recognised reenactors and Latinists can receive a discount if requested, and they only have to donate $81. And that's interesting. Oh, that's pretty cool. I don't know if they had that last year. So let's talk about that. So recognised reenactors, and I can see the next section talks about that, and Latinists. So let's go have a quick look. So a reenactor is, if you're a part of a military reenacting legion, so all this is asking for is just provide evidence, and it appears to be photographic evidence. I guess that's pretty simple. Directly to the consuls, or the censors if elected. Okay. So, for example, I know that Sempronius Agricola is in chat. He's a part of the 10th Legion Fretensis of Ancient Roman Reenactors Victoria, or ARV. You can check out their website, and Agricola, if you like, feel free to throw in the website for ARV into the chat for people to check out. So, technically speaking, as Agricola, as a member of Legio 10, and so I guess like myself, I'm also a member of Legio 10 Fretensis here in Victoria, we could technically pay $81 and receive that permanent class fixture, and the 400 CP that goes with that, getting the full benefit. Otherwise, people would have to pay the $135 for. And I think that's a really good incentive. Continuing to encourage that level of practical activity of a Roman nature, that's really good. The other, obviously, the skill that Nova Roma highly values is those Latinists and those fluent in Latin and Latin language can be recognised as such. Now, it appears here they're looking for some sort of certification, results of examination, at least by a Nova Roman educational institution or outside. Okay, good, so both, which provides Latin fluency in writing. It doesn't necessarily say speech, but at least it says writing. In the absence of such a document, the consul can assign the task of examination to a committee. Okay, so you can get it verified by another means. Okay, there's flexibility there. That's good. So if you are fluent in Latin, you could also qualify for that $81 US discount and get the permanent equestrian status. Now, Sempronius there asks, you don't think you're registered as a reenactor? Yeah, great point. Now, I've already submitted your request for reenactor census points, and I think if that's recognised, then you've already got that ticket to then qualify for that discount, I would argue, but we can follow that up at the time. We have a salve to Matheson Monarch. Thank you for the follow there. It's an absolute pleasure. Gratias. 1,000 thank yous to you for following the channel. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and what interests you in ancient Rome. If you're a Nova Roma citizen, let us know, or if you're just somebody who's passionate about Roman stuff, please share that in chat. Right now, if you're not familiar, we're talking about the latest outcomes of the Senate session from Nova Roma. And for those that don't know, Nova Roma runs a symbolic Roman republic, and so the Senate, we have a sitting Senate, which is essentially our board of directors. We have a presiding magistrate, they discuss proposals and they vote on those, and this particular one is talking about the membership fees, or what we like to call the tax rates, for this year come August. Sempronius Agricola in chat has said, is the permanent equestrian subsequent years, or must you pay the tax amount each year? Awesome question. To answer that question is no, you only got to pay the base amount. So let's say if you pay as a military reenactment there, Agricola, you pay the $81, you'll get the 400 CP, you'll get Equus Equio Privato as your permanent equestrian status, and then all you have to do is pay... there we go. We've just seen a sub there coming in from one of our senators, one of our VIPs. Gratias to you, Senator. Very pleased to have you in. Everybody give a salve to the Senator, Titus Domitius Draco, who's joined us. Fantastic and excellent. Thanks for the donation back to Nova Roma. That's brilliant. Right, so again, to finalise your question there, Agricola, yeah, all you'd have to do is pay that $9 to maintain what is essentially your $135 or your $81 status. So that's great. So you'd pay, let's say you do that. So this year in your taxes, you pay your $81, you get your permanent equestrian status, and then you'd only have to pay your $9 every year after that, and you still get to keep that permanent equestrian title. That's pretty cool, eh? That's pretty cool. And right to first class. So that means your vote is technically worth more in elections. So let me scroll back and chat a bit. I see that Matheson Monarch says, Salve, it is I, Claudius Marcus Augustinus. And Mathis Monarch has also just subbed. All the subs coming in this evening. Fantastic. Marcus Augustinius. Brilliant. That's awesome that you're joining us this evening. I'm pleased to hear from you. That's great. Look at all this is now officially the most amount of subs this channel has ever had. We are on a roll. Well done, everybody. Again, all these donations, subs, cheers, direct donations all go back to Nova Roma and help to supplement all the things that we like to do. Roman reenactment events, scholarships, research as well. Helping to support all of our social media and our websites and our server fees, and help develop new software and new websites. And apparently that's one of the aggressive rumours right now, which I'm very pleased to hear about. So again, gratias gratias omnes to all of you. Fantastic for subscribing as you guys are doing. That's well done. Gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. Holy dooly. Wow. Everybody throw emotes and Nova Roma symbols in chat. That is phenomenal. Has gifted 5 subs to the chat. So if you received a sub this evening, so Gamma Torex has received one, Unknown Star has received one, Poached Trout has received one, Agricola has received a gifted tier, as has that really long name, Carthagadolescendesta. Has also received a gifted sub from Claudius. Wow, isn't that absolutely fantastic? Awesome, gratias to you. That is fantastic. We're definitely on a roll now. Definitely on a roll. Yeah, that's it. Pump those happy emotes and Roman symbols in chat. That is amazing. And you go to the top of the leaderboard now for gifted subs. So Sempronis Agricola has been kicked off the top tier. He goes back to second. And Mathis and Monarch at the top there with the 5 gifted subs. That is amazing. Well done. So I'm going to make sure I add you to the wall of thanks on our Discord for your amazing contribution for what is essentially 6 subs there. That is absolutely fantastic. I'm chuffed to see that. Nova Roma is going to be very pleased. Our curator, Nias Cornelius Lentulus, he'll be very pleased to hear about that as well. Holy dooly, somebody else is coming through. Wow. Sempronis Agricola was not having it. He's like, nah, I'm coming back, baby. And look what you've done. You've started a hype train. Wow. That's so for those not familiar, a hype train is essentially Twitch's encouragement to earn more money for themselves. But right, the more subs and cheers and donations you make, that makes the hype train go up, and you gain levels for additional hype trains and unlocks other emotes. Well, he's just done it again. Oh, look at you! Where are you pulling all this money from? Wow, I'm just ecstatic, team. This is fantastic. Wow, this is a great day for Nova Roma. Cheered 500 bits coming in from the Senator as well. Mathis and Monarch, Jortanos, everyone's just smashing it. Trying to boost the hype train. Wow. And this is interesting to see as a streamer on this end as well, because I've never seen this level before either. So this is fantastic. Wow, team. I clap to you. I toast in everybody's favour who's donating right now. Cheers and subs and gifted subs. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to be so pleased to report this back to the Senate today. Truly astounding. Master Splinter has come into the chat. Master Splinter also received a gifted sub in a previous stream. So Master Splinter, salve to you. You are also now a subscriber thanks to a gifted sub that you've received. So you're a part of our sub community as well. Courtesy, I think that one actually came from Sempronis Agricola, if I'm not mistaken. I think that gifted sub for you, Master Splinter, came from him. But this is incredible to see all these gifted subs come through, the cheers come through. Absolutely amazing. And look, this is part of the reason why we have this channel, not only to bring you Roma-themed content, but to help raise some money for Nova Roma. And with support from you guys, I can't say thanks enough. Nova Roma hats off to you. Whatever the Roman equivalent of a tipping of a hat or a raising of a glass. We'll have to speak to the Flamens to make some ritual sacrifices in honor of all of you and to wish you all good luck. I'm just ecstatic, a little bit teary even at the amount of selfless donations you're all making. So that's fantastic. Whew. Wow, that's a lot of excitement. Okay, I've got to take a sip. Sempronius Agricola coming through again with more gifted subs. It's a race for the top of the leaderboard on the gifted subs. And we completed level 5 of the hype train. Wow. So this is what it looks like, 123%. Struth almighty. I'm without words now, as is Nova Roma. So everybody's getting one. Who's got a gifted sub out of that? So we've got users. Good. One of our other senators has received a sub. Parlis 93 received a sub. Hermes Colonine. Oh, we've got some more bits come through. 100 bits cheered from Matheson Monarch. Another one of our steamed Nova Roma citizens. Amazing. He shall not go quietly into the night. Wow, Maths and Monica, holy dooly, dude. Okay. This has prompted me now. I'm going to make a note. We're going to have to be able to award census points for this. So we're just talking about census points regarding taxes. I think if you guys are smashing out subs and bit cheers like this, you guys can't go unrewarded. I mean, you're going to go on the wall of thanks on Discord, and I guess you'll have the knowledge knowing that you're donating to a not-for-profit, but I'd like to do a little bit more than that. So if you're a Nova Roma citizen, I think these have to be worth census points, and I'm gonna talk to the curator, Cornelius Lentulus, to talk about those citizens that donate Twitch subs or cheer bits like you guys are smashing it out right now. You're going to get some census points. So I'm going to make that happen. Leave that with me. We're going to get you some census points for all the cheers of bits and donations that you guys are making, and award you for this phenomenal contribution that you guys are making here right now. That's amazing. So Sonoji is getting a gifted sub. Vispania 69 from Legio Victrix up in Sydney has got one. Captain Scarecrow has got a gifted sub as well from Matheson Monarch. I think with the amount of followers we have, nearly everybody's going to end up with a gifted sub. Nearly everybody for this month has just pretty ended up as a subscriber to this channel. Well done, everybody. Well done. That is a lot of donations. And we got a hype train success. Wow. And there's another 100 bits come through. Okay, there we go. So Claudius Augustinius is actually the scribe of Cornelius Lentulus. Oh, brilliant. Well, I'll be telling him about the amazing stuff you're doing here this evening, along with Sempronius Agricola and Senator Titus Domitius. Choo-choo. That's hype train. We're apparently all the supporters are getting emotes now. You're all getting a bunch of random emotes. I think we can update those with some Roman ones later. Wow. That is yeah, we'll eventually go back and make those emotes Roman ones, because I hadn't unlocked any more until now, thanks to you guys. So with some of that work, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Master Splinter getting in the action with his subscriber emotes there. Awesome. Okay. Well, lots of happiness here. So I'll take another sip. It's funny. There's not many users in the chat. The amount of donations that have come through this evening is subs and bits is just amazing. The hype trainer remotes are from Twitch and aren't customizable. Okay, cool. Yeah, and you're a pretty experienced streamer yourself there, Jortanos. So I guess you're in the know. All right. Well, I think all the same, receiving them is still pretty fantastic. Oh, cool. You get a hype train conductor emote little token icon next to your username. That's new. I've never seen that before. A hype train conductor. So what does that mean? You donated the most, or you donated at a particular time during a hype train? Oh, you've all got it. So all those that subbed or cheered during the hype train all get the hype train conductor icon next to their name. Yeah, right. And then, of course, you can see those that have, in fact, been a part of the first to subscribe and cheer to the community get the little first founder icon as well. That's awesome. I'm so glad you guys are getting recognised. That's amazing. Well done. Okay, so let me just make sure I've got everyone's name. So I've got Claudius Augustinius' name, Matheson Monarch. Just want to make sure you guys get mentioned accordingly, both in the Discord, and yeah, we're going to talk about CP. Obviously, our good Senator and Sempronius Agricola, all awesome people that need to be thanked to the end of the earth. And hopefully awarded with CP. So leave that with me. I'm going to make that happen. So Matheson Monarch says, I'm never up and about at the same time as the stream, so I'm amped to actually catch this one. Yeah, good. Unknown Star says, hype trains are people who participated. Yeah, cool. Awesome. So I don't nearly everybody in chat now has an icon next to their name just about. Matheson Monarch comes in again with another Roman 100 bits. I can't remember what the bits are worth, but 100 bits is phenomenal. Well done. I don't know what to say on behalf of Nova Roma. This gratius 1,000 times over. It's amazing. These donations is going to go a great deal, and particularly if we're doing projects like getting a new website, getting that set up, getting the databases set up, and the administration fees for the new server. That's going to happen a lot quicker, right? If you guys are doing this stuff here, and you're also paying your Nova Roma taxes in August, right? We're going to see a lot of activity start to occur because money isn't everything, but it makes the world go round, right? And it makes things move a lot faster. And so, right, this will come back to you guys in some form as a part of the Nova Roman community. So. This is great. Now, for those that are interested, we're fully transparent in everything that we accrue. So the estimation that I receive as the program manager for the channel, we put that in the Discord. So you can actually see how much money we're raising from the channel. So it's all transparent. So none of our streamers on the channel get to keep any of it. So I don't get to keep any of it. Neither do any of the other contributing streamers on the channel here. It all goes back to Nova Roma, either locally in the provinces or back to Nova Roma. As a whole and through the Senate to fund various activities and research and events, etc., etc. And you can see how much we're raising live at any one time through our Discord. So if you go to the Nova Roma TV Twitch channel in our Discord, you'll see just how much we've raised. So that started in May, and I'm going to have to do some serious updating of numbers at the end of this stream. So again, thank you and well done to all of you for the contributions that you're making. Good to see a full gifted tally now. So we see Matheson Monarch there with the 15 gifted subs in first place. Shep13 with 10 gifted subs. And he also holds third place with his other account, Sempronius Agricola, with the 1 gifted sub. So he's up there twice. So maybe he feels like he wins because he's up on the leaderboard twice. With the mobile account and the home computer account. Well done. Okay, I think things have calmed down a bit now, and we can go on and talk more about the actual agenda for this evening, and that is the outcomes from the March Senate session. Boy, did we have a bit of a digress there. Farrakhreb, salvete to you. Glad you could join us. You just missed a hype train, the first hype train of this channel. We saw nearly 25 gifted subs come through from the likes of Matheson Monarch and Jor Tanos and Shep13, all Nova Roma citizens just trying to compete. I think trying to compete against each other. We saw bit cheers all going on. So it's been an exciting time, Farrakhreb. Glad you could pop in and help mod and seeing what's going on this evening. And who knows, you may even have some comments about the latest Senate session when I eventually get back to it. Matheson Monarch comes back in with another 100 bits just to let everybody know who's boss. So Matheson Monarch says, having 2 teams of horses in the Circus Maximus doesn't mean you get across the finish line first. In response to Sempronius Agricola having second and third place in the gifted sub leaderboard there. And he jests, of course. I'll tell you what, in terms of rivalries, it's a very positive rivalry, I think. Well done. My face is hurting from smiling. Is anybody else's face hurting from smiling? It's wow. Yeah, you guys. And this is where I really start to really appreciate the Nova Roma community. I mean, we all start to form really close bonds. We all have an equivalent equal passion in Roman things, right? And when you see some of the selfless acts or the dedication, it doesn't necessarily have to be money, right? The dedication and the determination of some of our citizens and the roles that they do, it just really warms the cockles of your heart. That's a weird saying. Let's come back to that later. And that just makes me smile, right? To see you guys, some of you are also contributing streamers to this channel as well. So Pharaoh Crab is a contributing streamer. Apollo, who's at the dentist right now, he might be listening to us, I don't know, with dentist tools in his mouth. Also both contributing streamers. So that's great effort to see that as well. Sempronius Agricola coming in with another set of 5 tier 1 subs to the community. He's boosting his profile again. Yeah, not letting it die. Oh man. You've all started something this evening. Wow, gratias again. Everybody get in chat with your Roman emotes or your newly unlocked hype train emotes. Another thank you to Sempronius Agricola for the gift of subs. Matheson Monarch, Claudius Augustinus coming back in with another 10 tier 1 subs to the community. Holy dooly. Okay, I think now every single follower in this channel is now going to be subscribed. Thanks to Pharaoh Crab with the host, with coming in with the 1 viewers there. Thanks, Pharaoh Crab. Everybody contributing to the stream this evening. That is astounding. And Matheson Monarch, Claudius Augustinius, wow. He's now on the top of the leaderboard with 25 gifted subs to the community. That is a huge donation to Nova Roma. I guess truly phenomenal. God, wow. Gratis to you. If you haven't already, throw your Roman emotes in chat. Thank all the contributors so far this evening. Really amazing. Surely the auction has finished for top place. Look, 15 subs already from Sempronius Agricola as well in total from his 2 accounts. Amazing, incredible amounts of donation. I mean, 1 is phenomenal, or 1 bit cheers are fantastic. But to go as far as you guys have this evening is just astounding. But look, even if you can't donate money, that doesn't matter. By watching this channel, you're supporting it. By following the channel, you're supporting it. By speaking in chat, you're supporting Nova Roma. You're being heard. You're communicating. That is great contributions as well. And so, really thanks to all of you, because I get a lot of value as a fellow Nova Roma citizen, being able to talk to all of you as well and hear your opinions on all the various matters that we talk about on all my streams, but also that of the Tribune Talks segment that this is all about. So yes, I guess a welcome to all those hiding out in chat that haven't chatted to us yet. Welcome to the stream from Nova Roma Incorporated, which is the largest, well, not necessarily the largest, but definitely the original international living history and revivalist Roman Republic society, found globally throughout the world. And this is our Twitch channel, what we've aptly named the Roman Twitch channel, where we talk about all things Roman and business and politics and events happening in Nova Roma. So this evening on the agenda is we're talking about the outcome of the latest Senate session, which is just starting to wrap up. Started in March this year and has just concluded more or less today with a confirmation of votes and the tribunes coming in, confirming the outcome and the votes that the presiding magistrate has reported on. And specifically, we were just talking about the tax rates coming up in August this year, and tax is another name for membership fees, which are optional. Because if you are watching and you're not a Nova Roma citizen yet, it is free to join Nova Roma. You can participate fully in our community and get a Roman name, and join in all the various online events and speak on our Discord and share your passion of all things Roman with, as you can tell, our amazingly dedicated and passionate community who are donating all this money back to the not-for-profit. Absolutely. Sempronius Agricola with a good comment there. Great generosity. Matheson Monarch, Claudius Augustinius, and of course that thanks goes back to Sempronius Agricola as well, who is also very generous with his 15, now 16 total gifted subs there. So truly amazing. A drink and a hats off to everybody that's donated cheers and bits and hosted and gifted subs. well done to you. So you'll all be going on our thanks wall on the Discord in the Twitch channel there, and we're also going to create a page on the Nova Roma website and honour all of you for the additional donations, financial donations that you're making as well. And like I said, if you didn't catch it, for those that do donate, be sure to let me know what your Roman name is if I don't already know it, based on your Twitch username there, and I'll make sure that you can get some census points for your contributions as well. So I'm going to speak to the authorities, which is the curator, Gnaeus Cornelius Lentulus, and I'm going to have a meeting with him and see if we can't get some census points for the amazing generosity that you guys are putting through to the channel. So that's wonderful. So we just identified the base tax rate for those that do want to contribute and pay their voluntary membership fees or tax fees in August this year. It'll be $9. For those that are looking to get a bump up to the equestrian order, the temporary equestrian order, it'll be $45. And if you're looking for permanent status, it's $135, but you get a discount if you're fluent in Latin or you're a Roman military reenactor, like Sempronius Agricola in chat, and you can get that discount down to $81. Yeah, going to be a lot of folks with subs thanks to the two of you. That's right, Matheson Monarch and Sempronius Agricola. Yeah, amazing. So yes, in this part of the Senatus Consultum talks about the definition of reenactors and Latinus, and that concludes that first voted on Senatus Consultum, or what I like to say is SC. It was actually an ultimatum, so it's a slightly higher authority. So yeah, there's two levels really when things that come out of the Senate, and that's Senatus Consultums and Senatus Consultum Ultimatums. Really is the difference. Okay, so let's go back one. So again, for those that are just joining us in stream, I'll put the link in chat. That is the page we're on. That is the page we're talking through. So you can follow along at home, or if you missed some of this stream, you can watch it again in the future, and we'll come back to this page at your leisure and see what the Senate has decided upon. So let's go through quickly now the second one. It's not a particularly big one. This just talks about the appointment of a new governor for a couple of provinces, which is Dacia and Lacus Magni. So two, one in Europe area, and I believe the other one is in the United States, if I'm not mistaken. In any case, they were without governors, these two provinces, and they needed a new governor, and they've put in the overarching administrating governor, which is Gnaeus Cornelius Lentulus, who's actually the governor of a couple of different provinces, helping them to get onto their feet and get started before they're going to appoint a local legatus there. So yeah, he's been appointed the governor essentially for those two regions, and that's what that Senatus Consultum is about there. That one's pretty easy. Look at us, we're on a roll now. Pharaoh Crab says, Matheson Monarch, I missed what your Roman name is. He'll probably come into chat anyway, but if I beat you to it... Nah, I didn't. Gaius Marcius Augustinus. Was I calling you Claudius before? Oh, I apologise. I was calling you Claudius Augustinus. How come you didn't correct me? It's Marcius Augustinus. That's it. I'll make sure I've written that down correctly on my list too, although I know who you are. Secretly, I know who you are. Marcius Augustinus. Perfect. Okay, I've updated my little list now. There we go. Matheson Monarch goes, I know what you meant, and gives us 100 bits. Clearly, you're not upset. My moustache bristles are tingling. Well done. That deserves more tea. Sempronius Agricola answers that with another 100 bits. Bow, right back at you. This is so exciting to see on stream, eh? I hope our other streaming contributors out there, like Pharaoh Crab and Apollo, will get to experience this themselves in their own streams, US and Britannia time, when it comes to their streams. Hey, he's probably not back yet. Apollo, who's probably at the dentist. Maybe if you're listening, Apollo, yeah, I'm keen to know if you're streaming Wednesday. And what about you, Pharaoh Crab? When can we expect you to stream? Here on the channel. Let the good people know, Pharaoh Crab, when you're due to stream for everybody. Let us know. So Sempronius Agricola says he's only just learning this stuff. so you're accidentally hitting the buttons? Is that what's happening? I accidentally leant on a button and I gave 100 bits. Pharaoh Crab says he's hoping to start soon. Sure, that's cool. I think we had a chat not too long ago just to look at your latest scenes. I think in your stream. Are you on the OBS studio? But that's cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to your content too, Pharaoh Crab, and that'll be good because that'll be at a time zone that's not Australian and a little bit more friendly to other time zones around the world. Because we like to, be welcoming of everybody around the world. Occasionally, particularly at this time slot, we'll often get some Turkish streamers as well. But right, this is more conducive to New Zealand, Australia, Southeast Asia, Eastern Russia, I guess. So it's good. Good to hear that we'll hear from you soon there, Pharaoh Crab. Okay, let's go have a look. Sempronius Secretly says, imagine the donations if you're in a toddler's pool. Yeah. Yes, very. Very much indeed. Right, let's have a look at the next Senatus Consultum. This one is labelled, and let's test out our pronunciation here. Everybody at home, say along with me now. Senatus Consultum di Rogatione Lucililia di Repubblica Restituenda. There's about 3 mistakes in there at least. This was also enacted on the same day. Now, this is a big one, and I don't know how much time we'll go into this or how much detail. Maybe we'll have a brief look and come back to this. But this is talking about the Constitution of Nova Roma. Pretty important. I actually have 2 other tabs here open that I'm going to show you. There's a Constitution of Nova Roma, as you'd anticipate, which essentially reflects the bylaws of the corporation side of Nova Roma Incorporated, but stands as the symbolic constitution of Nova Roma as the Roman Republic entity. Now, for those that are familiar with recent history, Nova Roma had some issues with an illegal takeover of the board of directors, or I guess in the symbolic terms, an illegal dictatorship. That issue has since resolved itself, but there was a temporary constitution that came into play. So stepping backwards, first of all, let's bring that up. So in terms of a temporary constitution during that crisis, which was enacted here, you can see those details on the right-hand side, which is this lex here, which represents the temporary constitution at the time. And this is more or less what's in place at the moment, which sort of overtook, I guess, the previous accepted... Oh, another 100 bits cheered there from Matheson Monarch. Gratis again to you there. Spelling errors, scriber powers activate. Yeah, well done. The 100 bits will certainly help to fix that. Help to contribute and allow Nova Roma to create more Latin programs to help fix poor pronunciation of our Tribunus Plebis. Right, I'll be looking out for those Latin programs that are now fully funded by this channel. And I'll join those, get my Latin up to speed so I can be a better role model for everybody watching at home. So who knows? Yes, you guys are now funding the next formal Latin program coming out of Nova Roma. Right, so what you're looking at the screen here, the Lex Equita di Constitutional Corregenda. So this was perhaps the original full constitution until the temporary constitution took over. So this latest Senatus Consultum to come out, now this will need to pass through the Centuriate Assemblies for final vote, being what it is. All the people need to accept it, and I believe that is specified in here. If we look through the text, I had a brief squeeze over this earlier today, but yeah, something like the Constitution needs to be voted on by the centuries. If you spot it before I do, let me know. But as you can see, it's pretty full, and it talks about all the necessary changes to the Constitution to bring it up to speed based on the current corporation and also the current Roman Republic, and get us out of what was the rut that we were before we had some issues. So this lists all those changes that they're looking to enact, which will then be taken to the centuries for vote. So I guess I'm fully expecting to see an announcement to come through the Forum Romanum, the groups.io main mail list, in the coming weeks and months, where we will vote as a collective citizen body on the new updated constitution. And that stems from this Senatus Consultum. So if you're really, really interested in understanding those changes that are coming through, have a look at this page to begin with, and that will tell you what's coming, and so you can, I guess, do your research and make an informed vote for when the time comes. Okay. And so for those that aren't necessarily Nova Roma citizens, or even if you're just interested in the corporate side, so right, these sort of double as the bylaws of the corporation side of Nova Roma. Talks about the various positions and titles and how that, I guess, translates to as well. So when the submissions through to the US state of Maine, where the incorporation is registered in the United States, this will also be included as a part of the package of bylaws, and subsequently is voted upon by the entire body. Cool. Let's come back to that one if we have time, or if we want to at the end of the stream, and we can look at that in more detail. Let's have a look at this next Senator's Consultum. So really this talks about Nova Roman online internet and digital infrastructure. So maintaining brand. So I guess there's instructions to the curator, which is Cornelius Lentulus, by the way. Commission to centralise, modernise and update all digital infrastructure assets. Decide what is to be reinstated, updated or abolished. So essentially this is empowering the curator to do some more work and really get things happening. So I suspect, and we talked about the aggressive rumour before about an updated website, because look, the website that we're looking at right now, above me here, is based on an old wiki concept, and that's pretty good. It sort of works, but it's not particularly flashy, and there are some archaic things about it which makes it hard to interact with. Yeah, Pharaoh Crab says, I don't think Gnaeus Lentulus even needs a resume anymore. Yeah, I mean, it'd be too long anyway. If there's something this man doesn't do, I don't know what it is. He does just about everything. He's the beating heart, I think, of Nova Roma, Gnaeus Lentulus. He is the man that many go to for guidance. Even the senior magistrates in Nova Roma will often consult him on matters. But interestingly enough, he doesn't necessarily like to sit at the top. He loves the background work. He loves the machinations of business, of administration, and he usually only ever runs for Quaestor. And he loves to work with some of that back end stuff and help and facilitate others up through the Cursus Honorum. So yeah, he's an amazing individual, and so hats off to him, right? So I see this Senatus Consultum Ultimum, the ultimatum, really, which is what's going to spur our journey towards a new website. That is my hopes and dreams, and I think that's what this is really going into about. So a chair or a committee of IT scribes or potential other officers with titles to revise at least the homepage and digital services of the main webpage. I mean, it's very specific to the front webpage here, but we see this line about to bring them up to date to modern technology and standards. So this, it seems a bit vague, but to read between the lines, it kind of sounds like new website to me. Now, I think this was born that the main page of the Nova Roma website perhaps isn't, in terms of efficiencies of click-throughs and inviting people to, or getting people to the information that you want them to see the most, maybe the main homepage website is not conducive to that if we just use this other page here and flick through. So this is the main page of the Nova Roma website. It's pretty comprehensive. It gives you some key domains or some topics, and then a bunch of subtopics to click through of various articles. I think it works at some level, but in terms of modern websites and those that really study website layout and in terms of efficiencies and getting people to information that's most important or what people care about the most, maybe this page doesn't do that. So Sempronius Agricola has changed devices. He's now logged on with his computer, I think. The chat won't let me scroll. Oh, if I scroll here, that'll work for me. Changed devices and logged in and lost chat history. Did I post the Legio 10 for Intensus website link? No, not yet. Please post it again, Agricola. That would be perfectly fine for you to post again. Let's put our music back on there to keep us entertained in the background. Matheson Monarch got a random ad. Oh, really? Oh, weird. What did you miss? We're just talking about the main page of the website and how the Senatus Consultum here on the web page right now is essentially what I believe to be, I guess, the answer to getting us a new website. So you're going to see a chair of a committee come forwards. I reckon this is the start of our new website, I think. Sorry for those that got an ad. I mean, I didn't click the ad button, but it must happen sometimes. But again, for those that are not aware, if you have to face an ad, bear with it, because every time you've got streamers in the channel and an ad comes up, again, that's more revenue that's being generated by Nova for Nova Roma. So you don't feel too bad if you did have to face off against an ad just then. You've just helped to generate even more revenue. So again, perhaps a thank you to Matheson Monarch for sitting through an ad, because you've just donated more money through to Nova Roma. We get a small portion out of that as well. So Twitch takes a cut, Nova Roma gets a cut. But yes, if you're lost to where we're up to, we're looking at this Senatus Consultum on the screen above me right now, and we believe, well, my personal opinion is that this will help us lead to a new website. But that'll be a long time coming. So even if we set up the initial web page framework and get the server right and the subscription service there and any databases that are required to then start porting the information across will take some time. Currently, there's only a really small team of people with the required permissions to edit, at least on this site. But I think part of this will help to nominate people to be a part of that team to migrate information. And that is, even though this website is old, as if you look at my Tribune Talks from last week, so episode 3, so this is episode 4. If you look at episode 3 of Tribune Talks, both on the YouTube, but also in the videos below, I talk a lot about the website. Even though the website's old, the website has an absolute wealth of information. And from my Provincia Australia webpage, I've been putting a lot of hot links in there and in key information. It is amazing. If you spend a few hours on the website, it's just amazing the sheer amount of content here that's been built up over the 20 years that Nova Roma has been around, both on the real ancient Rome, but also on Nova Roma as a society. Yeah, just a sheer phenomenal amount of information. Jortanos points out that, right, the current provider charges an absolute fortune for the privilege of hosting the service and getting people access, etc. So, that's part of the other reason, perhaps, why we're looking to update as well, is, we're looking for a cheaper option. So, yeah, that's a good point, Jortanos. Yeah. Matheson Monarch is off. He's probably left before I got to say a wale. Yeah, a gratis and a thanks and a wale optime to you, Matheson Monarch. Marcus Augustinius, an amazing citizen and individual. Lots of bit cheers and lots of gifted subs this evening. So it's an absolute pleasure that you've been able to be a part of the stream this evening. So yes, a wale to you, and I look forward to talking to you again really soon. So thanks for joining us. George Tanner says, cheaper, more reliable, and more customer friendly. Yep, that's what we're hoping for. Good. They're the words I like to see, Jortanos. That's awesome. Pharaoh Crab's going to step out for a bit, but he should be back in a bit. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, thanks, Pharaoh Crab. Hopefully we see you back soon. Hopefully we get to see Apollo come back shortly from the dentist. Maybe he's still in the dentist chair. Hello, Apollo, if you're watching from your dentist chair. A salve to your dentist. Give him a root canal anyway, if you're hearing this. Give him a root canal anyway. He might need one. I don't know. Is there fluoride in the water where you are, Apollo? But yeah, Apollo will come back soon. So Apollo, for those that don't know, is one of our fellow streamers on the Roman Twitch channel here. And he likes to generally stream on a Wednesday based on a nice friendly US time zone and time frame. So that's really good. I think that's about, for Australians, that's about 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. For you, Unknown Star, that would be 3:30 a.m. I think that's the correct direction. Yeah, if you're still on Unknown Star. From South Australia. Very good. Okay, let's move on to the next Senatus Consultum. We've looked at that one. Let's look at this one. So this one has a truly phenomenally long title. Gosh, let's have a read through here and see what this is all about. So, or is this the one we just read? Oh, okay. So let's read through this slowly, because I think I vaguely recall this out. So, in order for the Republic to suffer no longer any harm due to any possible conflicts of interest. Okay, so if you read through the reports of the Senate, we brought up a lot of old legislation concerning old, outdated conflicts of interest statements and Senatus Consultum, which came out of the previous troublesome period, and a lot of stuff that was not relevant anymore for Nova Roma, which was perhaps restrictive of some people who participated in other Roman organisations. Now, that's not what Nova Roma stands for. Nova Roma is about networking with other Roman organisations. So we welcome the participation and the citizenship of all people, whether you're part of another Roman organisation or not. And that's what part of this... Sempronius Agricola has come in with another 100-bit cheers, or either that or he accidentally leant on the button again. I think he's starting to do it on purpose now. Well done. 100 bits for Rome. Gratias, Sempronius Agricola. Next time we catch up for a chat, Sempronius Agricola, live, the next 2 coffees are on me, courtesy of Nova Roma, for your amazing generosity this evening and continued generosity. Well done, you. Well done. Gosh, amazing. So this is the intent here. Now, I haven't actually read this in full, so I'm reading this fresh with you guys right now. So let's continue to see. Well, does the zoom in work? Yeah, let's zoom in a bit so you guys can see it a little bit easier. So, no high-ranking official of Nova Roma shall be at the same time a high-ranking official of another organisation. So, I guess because this is a corporation at the end of the day, right, we still want to eliminate certain conflicts of interest, particularly when we're talking about public money. So if there is another Roman organisation out there, it just says that if they're a part of that organisation, and particularly a committee member, they can't then be they can't be a high-ranking official, which would be a part of the board of directors, of Nova Roma, just to avoid that financial conflict of interest. And that's pretty standard right throughout the corporate world. And because Nova Roma is a corporation, that's why this exists. So this is not unusual. So this is just making it black and white now. So it's sort of, what I'd like to read here is that it sort of nullifies everything previous to this. I don't know whether I can see that yet, but let's have a quick read through. Which would exclude activities or services in the creation, development, and or working of a Roman state. Yep, right, that's fine. Because Nova Roma is not the only Roman society out there. There are others, some based on other eras. So for the purpose of this SC, the term high-ranking official shall be understood to designate every officer in the position of senator, governor, or that appointed by the Senate, unless specially appointed under a Nova Roman representative in another organisation. The 26 men, quaestors, the tribunus plebis, so myself, aedilis, censor, praetor, consul, and the same positions in the other organisations. So right, if you hold an equivalence of these in another Roman corporation or society, then you can't hold those equivalent in Nova Roma. So I guess that makes sense there. In regards to religious officers, the term high-ranking official will mean the rex sacrorum, flamen, pontifex, augurs, so all the high priests and some of the other religious appointments. Okay, same priesthoods in other organisations. Yep, that makes sense to me. Now, of course, if you've got questions as we go along, that's the whole point of this stream. If you want to bring up a point, bring up a question, bring up an objection, please do so in the chat. This is us facilitating a discussion here on what we're reading on Nova Roma politics, on legislation that we're having a look through. In some cases, I'm learning for the first time. Other cases, I've already got a formed opinion, which I'll share with you as a tribune, as a representative of you, Nova Roma citizens that are out there. For everyone else, this is purely for information, and you can get an insight into Nova Roma, perhaps before you join as a free citizen. If you are interested in joining, you know that Streamlabs has been spamming it. You can go to novaroma.org and read more about Nova Roma from there. And you can follow the links and become a free citizen of Nova Roma and start to participate even more in our global community and join in the discussion on a whole bunch of Roman topics. My biggest recommendation is, if you're new to the community, is join the Nova Roma Discord. It has got lots of different channels on various Roman topics, some of a specific Nova Roman nature, others just based on ancient Rome, and there's some really enthusiastic people in there, and you can connect with people from all over the world and discuss the various Roman stuff. And we'd love to have you. So you don't have to be a Nova Roma citizen to be on the Discord. So you can try before you buy if you like, even though Nova Roma citizenship is free. So let's continue to have a look. So high-ranking officials of Nova Roma shall have no other corporate priorities within Roman revivalism other than Nova Roma. It's pretty poorly worded by the looks of it. The good reputation, success, and promotion of Nova Roma in order of that reputation and interest of Nova Roma and its daughter companies and chapters. So an example there of a daughter company or chapter is Nova Roma in Australia and New Zealand is known as Australia Nova Romana. So that is the name of the currently unincorporated association representing Nova Roma in the region. And that's what it means by a daughter company or chapter. Citizenry, image, reputation, organisation, and all actions of Nova Roma or any allied or friendly partner organisations of Nova Roma cannot be diminished or negatively affected in any way. Sure, a bit of a catch-all there. The Senate shall be allowed to suspend any high-ranking official from the right to exercise their powers and duties under the suspicion described in sections 1 and 2 above, only to allow an investigation by the praetors, or in case a praetor is suspected, the remaining praetor, or in case, so just nth degree cases should people be suspected. Oh wow, they have literally gone to the nth degree. Okay. Yep. After the investigation, the judicial system can deem the suspect guilty or innocent. So, right, so let's talk a little bit here. So first of all, they're using the word suspicion. This, as a tribune here, and perhaps as somebody trying to put on a third-party hat, this seems a little bit fraught and maybe could be open to abuse. So what's to stop somebody coming out and saying that they suspect a praetor is potentially holds a high-ranking position in another corporation or another Roman revivalist society somewhere, which would be a conflict of interest, particularly when we talk about the management of public monies and corporate funds, which some of these positions have a voting decision on. So particularly a praetor is a prime example of that. So what's to stop anyone coming, I think this praetor is that, so that then will perhaps enact an investigation. Now, of course, that investigation could find nothing, and then everybody goes on about their day, but that's somebody who's suspended from their duties for a period of time. What stops the abuse of that? I'd be interested to see. This may need to be reconsidered potentially. Let's read on. So after the investigation, the judicial system can deem the suspects guilty or innocent. So a very, very highly summarised point that, right, for those that don't know, whether you're a Nova Roma citizen or not, Nova Roma has a judicial system, very much like ancient Rome. There are appointed individuals. They have responsibilities for a trial. Somebody who's brought to trial for a reason. In this case here, somebody who is suspected and or an initial investigation has found evidence of conflicts of interest. They can be brought before a Nova Roma judicial court, I guess, or a trial hosted by usually another praetor. Now, if the person's found guilty, they're removed from office. If they're found innocent, the suspension from exercising the office automatically ends without any notice in the citizen's acta, I guess, record. Okay, so I guess they've got two levels to prove themselves. So if the initial investigation doesn't find anything, fine. But if some evidence apparently comes up, then they can still seek to prove their innocence in a trial. It's pretty standard there. Now, the duty to execute the mandates of this SCU lays in the hands of the consuls and praetors, but every citizen that sees such behaviour should report it to the Senate or magistrate of his trust. Sure, that's good. I don't know how I feel at the end of the day. I feel like this could be abused. Now, practically, we're hardly going to see this enacted at all, really, I don't think. And most people in Nova Roma, particularly if you're getting to the high levels of government anyway, you're going to be familiar with the background of most people anyway, and you're going to know if they're a part of another Roman organisation. And many in Nova Roma have, in fact, been a part of another Roman organisation in some form, whether it be on the Republican era or others, and may still be members, and that's fine. They just can't hold a high-level position. And often that's easier to check because, all these societies publish information like we do. So we always publish who our current officers are. So if we go back to the main Nova Roma website and zoom out a little bit, if we click on the current year, it will go to this page and we can see who all the current elected officials and voted people of our current Nova Roma government are for this year. So at the very top of the page, we can see the two consuls, Quintus Arias Nauta and Aulia Talia Scholastica. They're our two consuls this year, and you can see all the other appointments for this year. And then, that can be verified against the Nova Roma database, what their macro legal names are. And we can then do your respective internet searches and you can see whether these people exist in other societies. And like I said, people know people, and if you've been around long enough, people learn their history. If somebody's trying to maliciously come in as what's the term? I think spy is the wrong word, but who's trying to come in maliciously to do damage, tries to be voted into a high-level position within Nova Roma, in the case to try and funnel money out of the corporation in some way. I guess that's why this SCU exists, and because of what's instigating here, that is why it is an ultimum. I guess from a representative of the people, and particularly the plebeian order, this purely on suspect thing has me a little bit concerned. I don't know. What's everybody's opinion in chat? If you're in chat and you're reading this, even if you're not a Nova Roma citizen, I'd be still interested to get your opinion anyway about how you feel about this particular SCU. But I think practically we're probably never going to see this. But it has the potential that people's duties could be suspended, and I wonder at a certain optimum time. So let's say there's a Senate session on, and maybe it's a lead consul, and then somebody goes, I believe this presiding magistrate leading consul is suspected of a conflict of interest. Immediately that person and their duties are halted, right, until the investigation conducted by the praetors deems any evidence or not. And if evidence is fabricated, it goes to court. So potentially a presiding consul could be suspended from duties in the course of what could essentially be his term of imperium, holding the Fuscus to run his Senate. So I see this. I would like to see a line here about maybe ramifications for false accusations. Maybe that's what I want to see. Yes, Sempronius Agricola summed it up. It's kind of a guilty until proven innocent framework, isn't it? And I think that's what at the end of the day, that's what the problem I've got a problem with. And this could be aimed at anyone, right? So it could be aimed at me. Somebody could come along and accuse me, a Tribunus Plebis, of the conflict of interest, being a part of another non-Nova Roman organisation committee or something like that, or holding a high-ranking office. And I could be suspended in my duties until any investigation clears me of such matters. And, that's concerning. So, all the tribunes have let this through. The tribunes could have vetoed this. And technically, and I think we're still within the time period that they could veto it. It's got me thinking now. I think it's 72 hours the tribunes have to veto something. This has really got me thinking. This is fascinating. This is politics happening live. Nova Roma politics happening live. Now, what's the consequences? If a tribune comes along and vetoes this, what happens? So we lose, I guess, the definition of a conflict of interest is until it's verified or changed. Now, there'll be another Senate session this year. The other consul will probably lead that one, and that could be revised then. There's, and the unfortunate thing that this thing does is it does not remove, or it doesn't specify here, invalidate all the previous other SC and SCU out there that talks about conflict of interest, which is damaging. That should be removed. I believe there was a list of about 20 to 25 different pages like this, and SC and SCUs, which talked about conflict of interest. All very confusing, all very contradictory, all very exclusionary unnecessarily. And this SCU doesn't address that either. So it leaves a lot to be desired, let alone some of the language is a bit rough. I'm making a mental note here, ladies and gentlemen, whether this should stay through. Do the tribunes veto this proposal? Now, as a tribune, I'm going to discuss this with my other tribunes first, and I think that's what I'm going to be doing post this stream. If there's a 72-hour window from when the vote was confirmed, 72 hours to consider this SCU here. Let's leave that there. That's provided some interesting thought. Let's not dwell on that any further for now. Let's go read some other stuff, what's happening here. Let's have a look at item number 8 here. So this is a pretty short one. There was an opportunity for Nova Roma to throw their hat in the ring to support a fellow Roman society and group out there based in Italy. I'm going to have a sip of tea. I'm starting to lose my voice from all the talking. I don't normally lose my voice. You guys have me talking a lot. Been talking for a while now. Good. Apollo's back. Talk in chat for a bit, Apollo, while I clear my vocal cords. I'm starting to run out of voice. Okay. I think I'm okay. I'm just going to keep drinking the tea. I don't know if you just saw Apollo. We've been discussing quite heavily the SC on conflict of interest and how I now have some doubts. So Sempronius Agricola has some comments here again. So he says on that last one, he thinks it's necessary as long as the investigation is conducted in an expeditious manner and the accusation is, if it is blatantly false and there is punishment, then it is okay. But right, I guess there isn't anything in that SC that talks about false accusations and repercussions for that. Now, I don't know if that's inherently implied, or whether the praetors could bring that to a decision anyway, which I think they're in their remit to do. They can certainly bring somebody to trial for a false accusation, even without that necessarily being mentioned to the SC. I guess my hopes and dreams for that SC would have been a little bit different. I would have liked to have seen it cancel a bunch of other old stuff. I won't go through all that here or try and bring it up. But there's a lot of old conflicting stuff and stuff that was unnecessarily restrictive. This SC was the hope to fix all that. It didn't, and now there's a susceptibility of it being abused. So that's, I guess, the other concern. So Sempronius Agricola says, I'm not sure someone with a suspicion over their head would go for office unhindered. And right, and I think that was the other point I was trying to make, is that somebody running for office, you generally start to know a fair bit about them anyway, and they've got to apply for the candidacy anyway, and it's got to be approved. And generally, the senior magistrates will have a good indicator or have a vetting process to allow that candidacy or register that candidacy to run anyway, and they'll do a quick check against the Nova Roma database and your profile, which may or may not contain any notes or acta on your record. Yeah. Look, I think it'll stay for now, but it needs correcting. So that'll be the advice I'll be passing through as a tribune to representatives in the Senate. I don't think I'm happy with it in its current form. So maybe that's disappointing. Okay, so there's a group here from this SC that's talking about called the Gruppo Storico Romano. It's based in Rome, Italy. And they are a probably one of the largest Roman reenactment groups in the world. I guess it makes sense that they're based in Italy. And they, as a group, as a society, are actually going to run for city elections in Rome itself. And we thought this was a good opportunity to continue to bolster our networks and our connections. And we wanted to offer our public support and well wishes to this group and the individuals running for office there in Rome. So that's what this SEU was just getting, the support of the Senate. That in fact we wanted to do that, which we did, and that passed without measure. So, Apollo, how did your dental visit go? You don't have to share if you don't want to, but I hope all is well. Is it just a checkup? Actually, I'm due for my dental soon. I better book that in. Get a good checkup. Okay, so we just had a look at number 8. Let's look at number 9. SC number 9. So this one's good. So this one talks about, designating the term official forum of Nova Roma. So if something is an official forum, I guess it's bound by the societal rules of Nova Roma and the authority of the praetors who manage public forums, etc. So this defines that. So the official state. So there's only really one ring to rule them all. I don't know what the voice I was going for there. And it's saying the only official state forum of Nova Roma is the Forum Novum Romanum, which is the groups.io mail list. And you can see that link there. Zoom right in. And again, for everybody's benefit, I'm going to copy this into chat. If you're a Nova Roma citizen and you're not already subscribed here, you should be. I suggest once you are subscribed, just update your subscription preferences to get like either a daily digest or a weekly digest of the emails, because every time somebody posts to the Forum Romanum, you'll get an email. Now, I've left it so I get every single email independently. That's how I like to operate, but others may prefer a daily digest so they're not getting inundated with 1,000 emails in their inbox. So that's a recommendation I'll give to you. But every citizen, I think, should be subscribed to the Forum Romanum groups.io main mail list, as we call it, because that is the be-all and end-all. If it's not said in this forum, it didn't happen. So every formal edicta, every formal SC or Senate report, every formal oath of office, announcement of games, you name it, elections, it all comes through here. Now, it's often posted everywhere else. It's often posted on the Facebook, definitely posted on the Discord as well in most cases. But it has to, for it to be official business, has to be posted to the Forum Romanum on groups.io. So that is what makes it official. And I think as a Nova Roma citizen, it'd be wise to be subscribed to this list to get the information firsthand. And of course, it's open to everybody, so it's you don't have to be a Nova Roma citizen to subscribe to this list. You can see what Nova Roma is doing and everything that's happening just by subscribing. Polo says his dental appointment went well. Sadly, it wasn't a checkup. He needed a tiny filling. Right at the back of the mouth. Must have messed up brushing teeth. How the rest of your mouth is fine. Oh, good. The mail, and he actually makes a comment about the mail list. ML is great and it's very good to see a lot of activity on there. Yeah, there's usually quite a lot of activity, isn't there? For example, with the conclusion of the votes on the Senate session, the consul, the current presiding magistrate, he posted the results himself straight after it was done, and he calculated the results. He got on there and posted it for everybody to see publicly on the Forum Romanum, which is awesome. Really good, and I'm pleased to see the consuls doing that. And you can get that information hot off the press, live, unaltered, by people like me, talking to you through Twitch, direct from the horse's mouth, if we were to use that idiom, cliche, turn of phrase. Very good. What else have they said here in this SC? The Senate mandates the consuls to negotiate with the owner of the main list. So, right, all these public entities are started by someone, and in most cases they're usually Nova Roma citizens. So in the case of the main mail list, it is Marcus Cassius Ulianus. He is the owner of the main mail list. Now, as the owner, I guess he has the rights to who has access and moderation rights and what happens there. So Nova Roma, as the corporation, enters into, I guess, an arrangement with the owner in terms of how that should be run and operate. So Nova Roma goes, well, we'd like this to run like a Roman forum where the praetors have authority about, behaviour and things like that. And Marcus Cassius here goes, yep, I'm a Nova Roma citizen, I get it. Yeah, absolutely. Here, have some permissions to do some stuff. And that's what this paragraph here is talking about, is making arrangements with the owners for this to happen. And this also happens with the Discord. And it also, I guess we'll talk about Twitch in just a moment, is those people who own those mediums, those social media outlets, they negotiate with Nova Roma about how they operate and who gets permission and accesses, etc., all in the name of Nova Roma, to run it like a Nova Roma formal outlet or forum or whatever the case may be. Thank you to Sempronius Agricola. I need it. He's redeemed 100 channel points for tea time. If you're watching at home, pick up your beverage of choice. Drink along with me. Thank you. I needed that. Help with the vocal cords. Apollo says, that was actually where I found about the Senate session. I would like to see a newsletter formally made as well. I know there was one previously. Yeah, I think you're right, Apollo. I do recall, it was before my time, but there was a newsletter concept, wasn't there, where it was formally reporting on, just Nova Roma in general. Right now, I guess the only equivalent of that is, I guess, this main mail list, but it's amongst of what you'd consider standard news is a bunch of other stuff, which you may not necessarily be interested in at a high level. Hopefully, maybe we see the newsletter come back in some form one day, like a newspaper, like a newsletter, which goes out, emailed to people potentially, as opposed to being posted, or maybe as well to the mail list. Yeah, good idea. Hopefully we see that come back. Newsletter. Paragraph 2 here talks about other public forums. So these will all be subservient to the groups.io list, which is the main one, and we have other forums, which aren't, I guess, other. So the other groups are recognised as official parts of Nova Roma, but not as official forums. Okay, cool. That's what the terminology they're going to use. The other forums can be called a public forum of Nova Roma, sure, or belonging to Nova Roma. Okay, so they include the Facebook group. So if you're not already, if you're on Facebook and you're not already in the Facebook group of Nova Roma, it's easy to join. Jump on there. That is owned by Gnaeus Cornelius Lentulus, so he helps to manage quite a lot of the Facebook pages there. And what else do they define here? It just talks about his role, expressing gratitude to him for running all the Facebook stuff. Very much worth it. And cool, this also talks about the Discord as well. So the Senate hereby recognises the official Discord server. Now that is actually owned by Titus Domitius Draco, our senator, who may or may not still be in chat here right now, which is George Tanos. So he owns the Nova Roma Discord. And essentially the Senate comes to an agreement with him as an individual, so as a macro individual, about, it'd be cool if we could run this, as an official Nova Roman space where praetors have some authority, and talk about, who does what, or administrators or moderators, and sort of discuss that role contextually within the form of the symbolic Nova Roman nation. So cool. So this, I guess, identifies those owners. So Cornelius Lentulus, Domitius Draco, Cassius Ulianus, they're all the owners of these respective social online mediums that the Senate engages with as the owners to make some things happen. Extended to Arturis Paconicus, which is a current serving praetor. So I guess they're joint administrators here at the moment, and they got together to create the Discord. Okay, so that's why they're both mentioned here. This just defines talking about the word forum in the use of the Discord specifically. And then this talks about the application of Nova Roman law on public speech and behaviour. Now this is probably an interesting one for us to read into, because this will vary, because we all I guess all familiar with the Second Amendment. No, sorry, the First Amendment rights of US citizens, which is the right to free speech. Now that doesn't necessarily exist in many other forms in many other countries. It can, but it varies. So let's have a read of what it says here, and I think this is important. The legal code of Nova Roma regarding public speech and behaviour, whether defined by edict, SC, lex, or any other legal document, shall be enforced in all public forums of Nova Roma. So that's the Facebook, that's the Discord, that's the Forum Romanum, the groups.io list, and eventually the Twitch channel. Public order, legality, and law enforcement and policing in forums shall be collectively responsibility of the 4 aediles. Supervision, conflict resolution, and administration of justice shall be the responsibility of the praetors. I'm not super happy how that's written, but I get the picture. The owners of any public forum, depending on their wish, shall have the right to retain their management rights, but they must always comply with the decision of the state authorities, except in the decision that would violate their property rights. Okay, yep, that makes sense. So Nova Roma can't come along that, sort of reduces the amount of rights that the original owner had over the medium. It's all about cordial relations and just negotiating, right? And because all the all the owners of these various outlets are already Nova Roma citizens and often have been for some time in some cases, they understand all this, and they're usually quite happy to provide the necessary permissions or authority to others that need it within Nova Roma to carry out their duties in the respective space. So, yeah, we get that. Complaints and controversies shall be judged by the legal procedures prescribed in Nova Roman law under the authority of the praetors as supervisor of public justice. I'm enjoying some of the language here. It's an interesting use of language, I think. Okay, let's leave that there, but that's interesting. I want to get through some of these other ones. The one I'm most excited about, and perhaps most relevant here on this channel, is this one. Senatus Consultum de Canali Twitch or Twicke Novae Romae. And I think you can probably guess this is talking about our very own Twitch channel that a lot of you are supporting now as subscribers and bit cheerers. So, and I'm going to read this one. The Senate designates the Australian Twitch channel, which is the Twitch channel you're all watching this live now, or if in YouTube, that's where this video has come from, of the Provincia Australia as a public media platform. Great example there. Some Provincia Agricola coming through with 100 bits cheered for Rome. Pharaoh Crab says, what a good portion to pop back in on. Oh, what a good portion to pop back in on, yeah. George Tanner says, whoa. When did Nova Roma get its own Twitch channel? You're a funny man, Senator. You're a funny man. Now, I guess for those that are not familiar with the background of this Twitch channel, right, so this originally started as a concept for Provincia Australia, for Provincia Australia citizens to participate in and do Roman stuff. It very quickly became a whole Nova Roman concept, even if it wasn't originally in name, where Nova Roman citizens from all over come in and predominantly watch me. So, for those that don't know, I'm the current serving governor of Provincia Australia, so of the regions of Australia, New Zealand, and most of Oceania. And right, this was an initiative, I guess, for engagement and an activity that we thought was a good idea. So we started up this Twitch channel to talk about Roman stuff and things happening in Provincia Australia. It was actually originally set up to host the Republic of Rome board game that I host every year. We host some annual sessions as a part of the Australian Nova Romana set of activities. If you're interested, that's going to start August 2nd, although the senators that I just spoke to, the players who are acting as senators in the board game are actually keen to start it earlier. They're really super excited to start playing. So that may start sooner. We'll see. Maybe late July. So it was originally set up for that, to host those board games live. And in fact, if you look at the video section below on this channel. You can see the 2020 playthrough of the Republic of Rome board game. And if you're interested, you can watch those through in your own time there. So, right, this is a concept we really just started coming out of Provincia, Australia, but off the suggestion of myself, we said, let's make this a whole Nova Roman thing. Let's make it a Nova Roma public space where we can have a whole bunch of other Nova Romans come in and stream content that they want to stream about, like Pharaoh Crab, potentially Jortanos as well, and Apollo as well. They're all fellow streamers. We'll also see Hortensia Faustina, one of our senatrix. She's also going to be hosting a really interesting interview segment. She's going to be interviewing various people to talk about Roman stuff in Nova Roma. Very much looking forward to that when she comes online as well. So it's grown, and so that's why we went through a channel change. So it was originally called Ost Nova Roma for Australia Nova Romana, and you can now obviously tell it's called Nova Roma. And that's the pedigree behind the Twitch channel here. So this SC officially recognises it as a public space of Nova Roma. Right, so it obligates me as the owner to make it sound Nova Roman, which we have done in anticipation. I have been, as the owner, so I Decimus Aurelius, am the owner of this Twitch channel. And I've been appointed as the editor-in-chief, who responds and reports to the curator, which is Gnaeus Cornelius Lentulus. So I take advice from the curator about, how we maintain the Nova Roma brand and imagery and what we're talking about on the channel, to not bring Nova Roma into disrepute. And so he helps to manage the digital infrastructure. But look, he provides a lot of leeway. And I think he's pretty happy with what we've done so far with the channel and what our fellow streamers have done so far. And look, obviously some of you are happy because you're donating amazing amounts of gifted subs and bit cheers, and you're all following and hosting the channel, which is amazing, and talking in chat. So obviously we're doing something right. Forms part of the major digital infrastructure of Nova Roma, which is great, and I can maintain editorial freedom. But look, I'm always happy to hear ideas from people, and for those that are wanting to share Roman content, you can also become a streamer. Let me know, get in touch. That's awesome, and so that's a pretty exciting one for me. I was very pleased to see that come through. This one here. Talks about so this is about naming conventions of provinces, continuation legal successors. So for those that recall, I think it was, if it wasn't the last Senate session, it was the one before that, they consolidated a lot of provinces into one. That was perhaps not met entirely with unanimous approval. There are some that didn't agree with some of the unification of some of those provinces. I think it was born out of, due to low activity in some areas, I wanted to combine it, mostly for administrative ease, I think. I think there's somebody in chat who disagreed strongly with some of the changes. And part of that, I think this is some of that explanation about naming as well, and what the successor in terms of provinces are. I guess that traceability and pedigree of the current provinces to the older ones, and those raised in particular errors, etc. So if you're interested about provincial history, particularly through the United States, go have a read of this SC here. That was this one. Let's look at number 12. So this was another quick one that popped up during the Senate session. I think it was Flavius who did a bit of a research march in full Roman kit. A professor who did this amazing march, and he gave us updates through the Forum Romanum. So if you were there, we got some updates on his memorial march. And we donated money. So we as Provincia Australia donated and contributed to his march to help him raise funds and fund his historic and fundraising march there. We thought it was an amazing initiative. There we go, aka Flavius Stilicio is the name of the individual there. And we actually got the privilege to talk to him on the World Meeting video chat for those that were in attendance or not in attendance. We got to have a chat with Flavius. And a reenactor, which was amazing to meet him in person as well. And he was very thankful for the donations that came through from Nova Roma, and he provided us plenty of updates on the amazing work he did. So, yeah, it was Pharaoh Crab. It was great to meet him. So, I'm pleased the Senate was able to support that endeavour, and that's, again, what Nova Roma is about. And all the funds that we raise through membership fees and taxes And some of the things that the gifted subs and the bits that you're cheering here through the channel, some of that goes through to some of these activities as well that we think are worthy. So it's great to see that happening. Excellent, that was item 12. Let's look at the last item, item 13. Senatus consultum ultimum de transitonis rebus ordinandis. Ordinandis. There we go. Get that through the box. Preamble. As the Senate and people of Nova Roma fighting against the coup, which was the troublesome period that we had in recent years, recovered almost all the assets of the Republic. Yes. So this is about reinstating the corporation side. So with what you haven't seen in the back end is the board of directors have been making sure they're meeting all the legal requirements that the US state of Maine requires for us to be a legal corporation. So we're ending what we call the emergency period, which was the period of time where we needed to do some special things to recover from the problems that we were having. The consuls were and are empowered to have the decision not to invest the Aediles Carulis with Imperium. It's just this SC is resetting us back to a status quo and ops normal. That's what this SC is really doing. Well, that's the way I interpret this. Okay. Yep. Right, so yes, this is final measures to reinstate the full Board of Directors Corporation, because I believe there needs to be an election, which is what this is ultimately referring to. So the election of the Board of Directors is a little bit different in that it needs to be a one-for-one vote, so we don't use the Roman century and tribal voting systems there. We need to have a one-for-one vote for legal purposes, and so we'll see eventually a Board of Directors vote. Now, that vote is interesting because we encourage people to vote in the current list of senators to be the Board of Directors. That's the way that we see Nova Roma operate. Technically speaking, anybody can nominate, I guess, to be on the Board of Directors, aka the committee, and they can be voted upon, so that I guess they can be nominated as a candidate. But Nova Roma says in order to maintain our tradition and our symbolic Roman Republic, we request, we don't order, we request as a part of this one-for-one, one member, one vote, is that you vote for the current approved list of senators as approved by the censors. And that will maintain that Nova Roman Republic tradition. Now, let's say that somebody who's not a senator is, through that election, is voted onto the Board of Directors. That could potentially happen, but the Board of Directors, in their own right and as part of their bylaws, can collectively, as a set of board, vote out individuals from that board. So somebody who is not a senator who does decide to go against convention and run for the Board of Directors will probably see themselves then voted out subsequently by the board. So then you ask, so how does one become a senator and then eventually serve on the Board of Directors? So in most cases, the Board of Directors is unanimous with the senators, and all senators are Board of Directors, but not always. That can vary, but the Board of Directors very rarely meets. It's usually on complex or macro matters concerning issues that may be a problem with the US state of Maine and where it's registered. Now, to become a senator is a very long period process. For those that are following the cursus honorum, I think senator is the pinnacle, I'd argue. Now, technically, you're kind of a temporary senator when you're elected to praetor or consul. So let's run an example. So our good friend of the channel, Gaius Artorius Praeconinus, our current praetor this year, he is... Oh, that's a bit. I can hear ourselves a little bit better now. He is running... He was voting as praetor for this year, 2774, but he is not a senator. He is not of the senatorial order. He's not of the senatorial rank. Now, as praetor, he still gets to wear the toga praetextra because he is a curule magistrate, so he has imperium, and he has special powers as voted in by the people, the centuries and tribes. However, when he finishes his term in office as a praetor, he goes back to his original order, be it the plebeian order or the equestrian order. He does not stay as a senator. Now, he'll be known as a pro-praetor, so he'll be a pro-magistrate, and I guess he retains that pro-magistrate title, so particularly if he gets, say, appointed as a governor of Provincia Germania, which is highly likely, considering he is the current serving legatus there under Gnaeus Cornelius Lentulus. He will be a pro-praetor as a title for that governorship role, which is quite interesting. But he will not be of the senatorial order. Now, to become a senator, every 2 years, I think it is, or it could be every 3, depends on how the censors run it. The censors run a census. We recently saw the results of the last census in January this year, really early January. So we'll take a cup of tea. Everyone drink with me. And the censors at that time, as I understand it, the censors can collectively agree to add to the senator list. So they can add more senators. So, senators disappear or become inactive or don't pay their taxes or otherwise, for some reason, or, they might pass on. And so depending on the amount of active citizens we have, we need to have a certain number of senators, which, that sort of happened during the Roman Republican era as well. And the censors collectively can appoint new senators to the senatorial order, which is a huge privilege, right? And you get to sit in the Senate and you get to vote in all the Senate sessions that occur from that point on. Now, what usually happens is there's an order of precedence that occurs. Okay, be right back from Jortanos. He's filling the Senate with calls. Very good. Hopefully not ours. And it usually goes in order of precedence. So those that are proconsuls usually are often bestowed the honour of becoming of the senatorial order first, followed by pro-praetors, then followed in order of precedence beyond that. So Aedilis Corulus, Aedilis Plebis, Tribunus Plebis, etc. In that order. Now normally you're going to have enough proconsuls and pro-praetors to choose from to be elevated to the senatorial order, or the senatorial rank, to then fill out the vacant positions on the Senate. So I guess that could take a long time, because senators can sit in the Senate almost for life, really. So George Hannell says, I heard about filling Republic Senate seats. I had to probably stay and listen. Or you may actually know something about it that I don't. Now I understand, right, the censors help to control the senatorial list during Republican times. And as I understand it from the Nova Roma perspective, the Nova Roman censors in unison can add people to the senatorial order, and it normally occurs during the census. So the census tells them the maximum amount of active citizens, or the amount of citizens that we have. From that, we determine how many senators we can have. And if we have vacancies, then we can appoint more people to become a senator. So that's my understanding. So if I'm wrong, and if you know something I don't, please get into chat, update me, correct me, go, actually, Decimus Aurelius, that's not how it works. Please let me know. This is a learning channel for everybody. And that could take so many years. So not only would you perhaps to be in contention to be considered on the senatorial order, you'd have to either be a praetor or a consul. So you follow the cursus honorum through your years, and you've achieved one of those posts. You then have to sit around and wait for the senators and the censors at the time to deem you worthy to be appointed to the senatorial order. So I guess that means you've got to be on good terms with the censors as well, have a good record, have probably a good amount of census points, be active, also be paying your membership dues regularly. There'll be a number of factors that the censors determine. And yeah, that could take any number of years. And I'd say, I don't know, it's hard to indicate because of the turbulence that we've had in recent years, how long it would take for somebody from becoming a citizen to becoming a senator, permanent senator. I'm going to pull a bum pluck out there, 10 years. Because it requires an absence, right? Now, unless Nova Roma grows, with a certain rate and vacancies open in the senatorial list, or, senators go inactive, or they pass away and they need to be replaced, we're also required to have 2 active censors at the time and a census being run. So, give and take, 10 to 12 years is my current estimate. If you're a really active member, if you follow the cursus honorum, if you're elected into the praetor and consul positions through your career in synced time, in good time, then maybe a decade or so, you're probably on good stead to be appointed to the senatorial order. Actually, a good question, if Jortanos is still in chat, how long did it take you before you were appointed to the senatorial order? That's a good question. So from the time Senator Titus Domitius Draco, aka Jortanos, from the time that you joined as a citizen of Nova Roma, how long did it take you before you were appointed to the senatorial order? And was I right? Was it the censors together that appointed you? I guess that's a great way of verifying. We've got technically somebody here who can tell us. Or was the process different back then in your time? Because you've been a senator for some time now. How long have you been a senator for? I guess is my question to you. He may not be in chat right now. I could just be talking to thin air. While we let him ponder that or not, let's take another sip of tea. But there we go. So that concludes all the SCs. So there was a total of 13 items, but 11 SC to come out, SC and SCUs. So if we zoom back out just a little bit again to see the full picture. Yeah, so you can go to this page. That was the major agenda for this Tribune Talks session. And you can look through that page at your leisure, have a look through the SCs, form your own opinions, and feel free to jump into the Nova Roma Discord and continue to have the discussion on there. Talk to your fellow Tribunes if you've got some issues. I think if you are absolutely 100% desperate to veto one of these SC, I think we're right. We're in the 72-hour window. Speak to one of your Tribunes about vetoing it if you are so inclined. I'm going to continue to consider them myself, although I don't think I'm going to go quite down that extreme path, but that's an option, and if a Tribune agrees with you, then they could pass that veto on your behalf. So please reach out to your Tribunes if you have some really major issues with anything that you've read or seen here this evening. George Hannes was back. He said, all right, let's see. He joined Nova Roma in 2006. What are we now? 2021. 21... Yeah, okay. So a little over 14, 15 years to get to the senatorial order. Oh, well, hang on. Well, that's implying that it took 10 years, so ignore me. So can you recall when you were appointed to the senatorial order? So, right, you became a citizen in 2006. You're right. So then, you're right, when were you appointed to the senatorial order? Because that, I think, would be a good indicator for those that are interested in following this thing right through to the end and achieving, I guess, the ultimate prestige of becoming a senator of Nova Roma. Here we go. In 2007 or 8, I was elected to Edile, but declined it. My first accepted and won office was consul in 2016. I was inactive from 2009 to 2015. Okay. So you were consul in 2016. Okay. And so did you? So I guess you retained. So I guess it was at 2016 then. At your tenure, you obtained senatorial order. Was in 2016 upon also obtaining consul. But right, yeah, been senatorial since then. Okay, yeah, right. And that when you read that, now granted there was that period of inactivity. That was because of circumstances in Nova Roma. That was about 10 years. In 2018, you was inducted as an equestrian as well. Wicked. Bene. Yes, that's a lot of prestige. That's awesome. So that says about 10 years there. Now, the period of inactivity is interesting. But because we have a quite a stable Senate now, I guess I'm still obliged to tell people 10 years. I don't know. What's your opinion, Jortanos? So if you're active, if you're paying your membership dues, if you get elected into an office every year, so if you reach praetor, if you reach consul, how long would it take before you are appointed to the Senate? Again, it depends on the current senators that are in there, whether they're still active, how old they are. I think it's fair, but it can happen earlier. Yeah, absolutely. Aim for helping Nova Roma, for growing it, not for titles. Look, I think that's a great message. Because I think that can happen in some societies like ours, and it happened in real world as well, is people go title hunting, right? They're all for the titles, but not for the work. When it comes to the various offices and positions of magistrates of Nova Roma, I think we as the populace are really looking for active people that can do the work, are present across all the public forum, and are really trying to grow Nova Roma and provide Roman education, help with living history, and doing all the good things that we would expect our leaders to do for our symbolic Roman Republic. And right, there are some people that, and I think we see this every year, and we've seen it again this year, and we've seen it last year, is people that run for office, they get elected, but you never see them. And I think for me, both as a tribunus plebis and as just a general citizen of Nova Roma, that probably is what frustrates me the most, is that people that have now, let me qualify and caveat this by saying that stuff happens, right? Sometimes people can't be active because of COVID, because of sickness or health, because of family emergencies. You can't avoid that stuff, right? And I get that. My heart goes out to those people that have to deal with those issues, and it impacts the Nova Roman time. Because for everybody that does hold a position in Nova Roma, it's a second job. It's not your primary role, and we've all got real world lives to deal with. We've all got real world jobs and families and real world stuff that we also need to sort of deal with macro-nationally. But there are others out there that fully knowing, that their macro work may interfere, or if they have no intent of participating, they run for office and then don't do anything. And the work then falls back on a colleague or somebody else within the Nova Roman government. So I think we saw that last year with the praetors. If I'm stirring the pot, I may even see it this year. We've got one active praetor and the other one is not. So hats off to Gaius Artorius Preconitus. I believe him to be a really active praetor. There is another praetor. I have seen him vote in the Senate session, so hats off to him for that. But I haven't seen much of him elsewhere. And there is a lot of things that the praetors could be doing. Ideally, for the praetors in particular, I'd like to see them present on all of our public forum to be oversighting everything that's going on. I'd like to see both of our praetors in the Twitch, for example, but we've only got the one. So that's what I'm looking for. So when I vote as a citizen of Nova Roma, I am looking for people that have got a history of activity, that have shown that not only do they have the previous positions, but they have also, in those positions, done stuff, right? And a great test is to get onto the groups.io Nova Roman list, the Forum Romanum, the groups.io list, main mailing list for Nova Roma, and do a search against the name. So when the elections are happening in November this year, and this is my tip for all the Nova Roma citizens out there, in the elections this year, the candidate lists that come out, either get onto the corporate website, but in particular that forum list, and search those Nova Roma citizen names. Now, if you come up with like one or two hits, I would thoroughly doubt that they would be a good choice for whatever office they're running for. No, things can change. I mean, who knows? They maybe were inactive and now becoming active again. That can happen. And I guess it depends on what their campaign strategy is. Another 100 bits from Sempronius Agricola, keeping the stream alive. Or maybe he agrees with the sentiment of what I'm talking about here. I'm going to have a sip of tea in thanks to you. Again. So for you, Sempronius Agricola. Yes, lots of emotes and Roman emojis in chat. Another thanks to Sempronius Agricola, who's done some amazing work donating this evening. So if you see the gifting leaderboard, Sempronius Agricola has 2 accounts, so he's totaled a total of 16 gifted subs to the channel, 15 of which have all come through tonight, which makes my face hurt when I smile, with all the amazing donations you guys are putting through. So thumbs up from Pharaoh Crab, that's awesome. So Sempronius Agricola agrees with what I'm saying. My tip to all the citizens voting in the November elections this year, do a search against the names, and if the names aren't coming up very often, they're probably not going to be a good choice, right? But if you see their names a lot through all the various forums, and you see the name everywhere, they may be a good choice. In fact, I'm more inclined, I'm less looking for competence right now, and I'm more looking for activity. That, which is not normally a direction I take. But right now, I think activity and interactivity is more important than I think general sort of competence or knowledge or intelligence or anything like that. So if I see somebody relatively new, and they're running for Quaestor or Aedilis Plebis or Tribune, for example, and they've been active in the forum, they're on the Discord in particular, they're chatting, they're talking about Roman stuff, they're asking questions, they're going to pique my interest, and they're going to be somebody that I am probably going to vote for. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to read their campaign speeches. Pharaoh Crab attempting to emote there. You'll get it eventually. So I'm definitely going to read people's campaign speeches at election time, and I do read them quite detailed. But right, the biggest check I'm doing is how active somebody is. And for me, that is a big indicator of whether they may or may not be good in the role. And look, all the roles vary. They've all got different responsibilities. Some will do a good job, some will do a bad job. But ultimately, it's about the activity, and it's really about engaging people. And one of the things that Nova Roma, I think as a whole, needs to do better, both nationally, but also right at the provincial level, is really trying to find ways to engage with the citizen citizen body, engage with individuals and groups. The Twitch channel, I guess, is an approach to do that. It's another way to try and reach out to both citizens and non-citizens to try and generate activity. So fingers crossed that the active people in Nova Roma run for positions in office in November. If you're thinking about it and you haven't run for office before, hey, let's have a chat. Look me up on the Discord or send me a whisper through Twitch if you want to know some more or if you want some tips. Now, granted, I haven't been around very long. I've only held 2 major offices in Nova Roma. I'm on the Tribune Plebis this year, and I was a quaestor last year. So I guess I don't have a great wealth of experience. But people like Jortanos, Titus Domitius Draco, he may be willing to answer some questions for you as well. Could you host speeches on the channel? Is the question from Apollo 490. My answer to that is yes. Yes, you may. This platform, like any other public space for Nova Roma, can absolutely 100% be used for your own individual political gains. So you can be sure, as one of the primary streamers on this channel, I will most certainly be holding my campaign speeches on here, and you can too. If you are a streamer, you can just do this off your own bat. You don't need my permission for that, really. During your regular stream slot or one that you've scheduled, you can go nuts and you can do that. So Apollo, once you have your candidacy approved in November for whatever position that you run for, yes, you as a streamer can just go ahead and do that at your allocated time slot here on the channel. And same for you, Pharaoh Crab. Yes, right, 100% as another fellow streamer. Now, if you're not a streamer and you're watching right now, but you go, I'd like to run for election. I'd also like to be able to campaign speech here on Twitch, on the Roman Twitch channel. You can still do that. You'll just partner with another streamer. So whether that's me on our segment for Tribune Talks or whether it's with the other streamers, they can easily set you up. And almost like an interview, really. And you can sit down and have an interview with one of the other streamers, and you can run your campaign speech in that manner. So there's all sorts of realms of possibilities there. I hope all candidates do it as well. And I'll advertise the fact and open it up. And I'll run some special sessions of maybe Tribune Talks where candidates can, say their 2 bits or bobs on stream. Actually, what would be really cool is if we hold a debate. Like US presidential debates, or really any political debates for that matter. But in that presidential style, is we get a bunch of candidates on simultaneously and with a facilitator, maybe one of the streamers perhaps, and we can have staged questions, can take questions from chat, and we can have the candidates play off against each other. I think that would be an awesome concept. I really like that idea. I just noticed the music dies. Let's put a little bit more music on to finish off our session here. There we go. And have a cup of sip of tea. That's a good idea. I'm going to write that down. So, Twitch campaign rallies and debates. I think I really like the idea of having debates. So Apollo says hopes to interview all candidates when elections come around, and debates too, as you've just said. Yeah, awesome. And I think depending on where the candidates are from, it may be more conducive for somebody like yourself from Provincia Britannia to host those. That's really a much more friendlier time zone for particularly US candidates. For me, my segment's probably better aimed at those that are more Southern Hemisphere, Australia, New Zealand based perhaps. Yeah, there we go. So exciting times to come. Well, if you've just joined the channel, we're slowly coming to the end now. This evening we talked about the outcomes from the March Senate session of this year. There's only been one Senate session so far. It took a little bit longer perhaps than some hoped, but we got there in the end. The results freshly released by the presiding magistrate and updated with the Tribunes on the Forum Romanum, as we learned from the SC. Tonight is the one and only official forum, or at least the primary patriarchal forum, I guess that's how I'm going to refer to it as, on the groups.io list. That's open for all people to subscribe to. Georgetown's going to speak for yourself about what time zones are better. Yeah, that's right. So this time zone is good for me. Who knows? There might be some Provincia Australia citizens that are night owls and would prefer to stream in US-friendly time zones. Farrow Crab said he's not brave enough for politics. Maybe in time. And like I said, politics is not necessarily for everybody, but who knows? You may find a role that you love and you may run for that in the future. This needs to be uploaded to the YouTube. Yes, it will be. So like I do for all my Tribune Talks. So this is episode 4 of Tribune Talks, and I hope to upload this to YouTube. It gets uploaded to the Australia Nova Romana YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube, look up Australia Nova Romana, you'll come across our YouTube outlet for all the things and activities happening in Provincia Australia, but albeit a lot of the Twitch videos go there. Eventually, when the Nova Roma YouTube channel gets fixed up, we will see those videos also get uploaded to that channel simultaneously as well. But right, we'll send the link around for this video. I think it's been a little bit informative to talk about through some of the SC and SCU this evening, and talk about politics in general and elections and this Twitch channel, which we now know is another public forum of Nova Roma. I think is the nomenclature that the SC referenced it as. It is official. It is wonderful. It's amazing. That's awesome. Now, to finish up, I would like to say thanks to all those that made some phenomenal donations this evening. Starting at the top of the list, and now our lead gift subber is the username Mathis Monarch, aka Marcus Augustinius. He's come through with a whopping 25 gifted subs and some bit cheers this evening. That is a phenomenal amount of donation that all goes back to Nova Roma. So a big gratias and a big thanks to him. Followed very closely, it was almost like a competition between these two. Sempronius Agricola, who actually has 2 accounts there, he's come through just tonight with 15 gifted subs himself and a whole bunch of cheers in 100 cheer slots right throughout the stream, keeping things real. And I'm a big fan of Sempronius Agricola, and he's my provincial quaestor here in Provincia Australia. And I love his determination and his dedication, his passion for all things Roman Republic. And I say to everybody, I wish I could clone him 1,000 times over. He gives selflessly. He donates a lot of his own funding to making things happen. And he's done it again here this evening. So he holds, and perhaps rightly so, the second and third place spots there on the gifting sub leaderboard for all to see. So that's wonderful. Thanks to the hosts this evening, for those that have also hosted, which is truly fantastic, and for all those that have cheered bits too, is amazing. We got a hype train. We completed a level 5 hype train this evening, which is another amazing feat for any channel on Twitch, really. So well done to you all as a community. If you're watching, awesome. If you're following, great. If you're talking in chat, that all helps to support the channel, all helps to support and grow Nova Roma. So a thanks to all those out there in the internet world. But right, to stay in touch, if you haven't already, hit the follow button. That'll help you and give you notifications for when we go live, when any of our streamers go live. I believe Apollo is going live on Wednesday, which is 4 a.m. local time for me. What's that local time, Rome time, Apollo, if you're still on chat? Let the good people know when you're streaming and what you're streaming. Are you streaming Quadriga? What are you looking to stream come Wednesday? But right, we're slowly adding more and more streamers to this channel at various times for you to enjoy a whole bunch of Roman-themed content. So stay tuned. Get on the Discord if you're looking for more information. We'll slowly post updates on our streamers and their topics and times on there. You'll be able to see the channel on there. And that Discord is open to both Nova Roma citizens and those that are just interested in Roman stuff. You can see the link in the About section below and the links on the channel here. So please definitely do join us on the Discord. We would love to have you on there. Well, I'm going to go rest my smiling face. All the smile muscles in the face are hurting so much from all the wonderful things and the contributions that you guys have made this evening. I've had an absolute blast going through all the SCs here and the latest Senate session results. We've worn out my vocal cords. I don't do that often. Done lots of talking. It's been a huge stream. There you go. Apollo says 8 p.m. Rome time Wednesday. He's going to stream Civilization 5 with some Roman Civ. It is open to change, of course. But yeah, check in 8 p.m. Rome time on Wednesday and watch some Romans on Civ 5. That'll be cool. Yeah, playing as Rome, obviously. Yeah, nice. So I'll see if I can get up for that and watch that as well. Because I think I've got Civ 5, but I've never played it. But I'd like to see how Rome does as a civilization. Farrah Crab says, I didn't even think about streaming Civ. Well, Farrah Crab's just got an idea for his stream as well. Fantastic. Right, what a great stream. We've streamed for a few hours there. It was a fun stream. I think that's a good indicator of how the stream's going if we stream for a long time. Hopefully I haven't bored any of you. Again, I've had fun. Thanks. I hope you guys have had fun. Thoroughly enjoyed tonight's session, says Sempronius Agricola. Wale to you. Wale to everybody. I'll see you guys. Actually, I don't know if I'll see you guys next Monday. I think I'm going on a bit of a vacation. We'll see. I'll keep you updated in Discord. If I don't see you for a while, I'll see you when I get back. But don't worry, I haven't disappeared. But you've got the likes of Farrah Crab and Apollo, and hopefully Hortensia Faustina Senatrix, who will also start streaming, and that'll keep you entertained at least until I return. And outside of that, join us on our social medias, and we'll see you all next time. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks for all the donators and subscribers. Walete.